You gonna do the honors on this stuff? Shames.
Professional.
You didn't do it this time.
Cody busy getting sexy.
Where I have to hit it down here.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, the last time I had it.
Welding Willies.
So it's working.
Yeah.
It's twerking.
Viewers are.
You're gonna get me demonetized.
Yo.
I do not have the rights to play this music.
Damn, this thing is like laundry, bro. So where did that be a man shit come from?
You don't remember that? Didn't Hardcore Cycle? No, somebody did a my man.
Hey.
No, I think it come out of Barstool. I think that's kind of where it took
Barstool
off.
Sports or whatever?
Yeah, because that's like East Coast centric,
Mhm.
and then it just started, and then the actual like the re-pops of it or whatever like we did that had nothing to do with that, but I want to say that's where I seen it first.
So that when we did that,
Excuse me.
we did that. That fuck. What was it?
Tuba Matrix.
We were doing that the Patreon podcast with Craig and Jaden. Kyle was here too, and we started talking about it. Was it at Buffalo Wild Wings we were talking about it? Mm-hmm. And I guess there's an app where you can get celebrities to say something for you.
Yeah.
Cameo.
A cameo, yeah. And so that's pretty much what ended up happening. Is
Who is that dude?
just
He's
the
the
Be a
Be a
Man
Man guy.
dude.
Be a man cameo.
He has all kinds of fucking like way better ones than what ours was. That says some crazy shit. So
There's a bunch of people on Cameo too. Apparently, according to Kyle, he was looking through. You get like a bunch of like old famous folks that like they're kind of
like
they've been out the spotlight.
played out.
Hey,
Yeah.
get whoever some '80s star to have your fucking answering machine or some shit. I don't know.
I think we looked up Brian Bosworth that night.
I believe it.
Because you were like, no, Brian Bosworth, that's the old football guy. And then we're like, that's Stone Cold.
What's the dude from?
That's right. You got to get this.
What's that old beach show? Or it was a
David
movie?
Hasselhoff?
David Hasselhoff,
dude.
Baywatch.
I
Yeah.
bet he's on there.
He's got to be on there.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good.
Pop both of them already?
No, we gotta get a proper
Both
proper
of them.
mimosa going.
See, the ratio is not supposed to
So,
be that much.
Bro,
to
you
be
got
that
measuring
much
sticks
champagne.
over.
The ratio is supposed to be that much champagne, that much
Yeah.
splash of orange.
Last, he
Just
bought
for color,
three.
baby.
He bought 3 things of orange juice and
I'm
2 things of champagne.
We're not
Oh,
no
fuck.
3. I got 3 things of
Oh.
champagne.
That's all right. Nigga have breakfast too sometimes.
Yeah. Get my vitamin D in.
I think those are 2 different champagnes. Though
Yeah,
one's
two different
Oh, it must
champagnes.
be.
We're gonna get dirty. We're gonna mix them.
Twist top on that motherfucker.
Hey, stop's all right. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Is that a sound effect? Or you do that shit with your cheek?
I do in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was probably that kid that could like whistle with grass.
what was it? What was the dude? Oh shit, my bad. What was the dude from what was it, Police Academy that can make all the noises?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that dude's great.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. Oh, that's way too much orange juice.
Throw me that towel over there.
Way to go, noob. You don't want no more?
This shit got me confused. You got it backwards.
Use some big
What?
ass cups, bro.
It's backwards.
Oh my bad.
Duns.
Yo, sexy.
Man.
Oh, let me get you some orange juice.
It's
I
just
want
straight.
just
Yeah,
a little
right.
drop.
Just a little bit,
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Oh man.
I like your sound effects. Yeah.
Drink this shit straight. Be a man.
Oh yeah, it's a spot.
Never doesn't.
Brunch podcast, baby.
Like, are you?
Good breakfast.
Have you ever been a Bloody Mary person?
I
love Bloody
the first time I tried one was I think the last time we were doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Last week.
No, I tried one with Britta. I think I'm trying to think where we were. We went somewhere in Dallas.
Okay.
And she got one. And I tried one. I was like, yeah, I like that shit. It's
Animals?
good.
Dude, the ones at Anvil are good.
They've had some good ones.
They are good.
The thing is now with Bloody Mary, because I've never been a big Bloody Mary fan myself. I've always been on this shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, how big can you make them? How great? You can't just make a good Bloody Mary anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's can you put a fucking cheeseburger on it?
burger,
Can you put a
tots,
goddamn
and
all that
donut,
extra
yeah.
bullshit, and then they can charge you $27 for a Bloody Mary.
Dude, this Mexican cat just started working with me, and he makes homemade michelada mix.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Fucking good.
I'm into that shit.
Yeah, he made me a big ass jug of it, and it was delicious.
You just can't go wrong with these though.
No,
Yeah, they're easy because like me and Cody went out and drank last night, and then because I was like, fuck, man, we got to wake up and do this again. And I was like, this is a good slide into some heavy drinking later.
It is.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
More often than not, like when we get on these, especially if you're at the crib, you'll end up running through your champagne because you usually go pretty heavy on the champagne to orange juice ratio.
Right.
And then you just transition into mimosas, which is just straight fucking vodka and orange juice.
Yeah. That's a good
Also
point.
known as a screwdriver.
Yeah.
That's how I do.
Everything's going good?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Looks good. All right. Fast Life Campout 4, motherfuckers.
Real talk.
Coming at
How
you.
how
Quick.
wild is it? It's like we're already on I can't even talk. We're already on the fourth one, dude. It feels like yesterday we were literally just meeting you.
First met.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of crazy too. I was looking at the calendar actually, just on my time since moving here.
Yeah.
And it has gone. It's almost been a decade, and I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wild to me that I've been here essentially almost all through my 30s, and I don't know. I guess they say time goes fast when you're having fun.
Time
you're having
flies when
good
you're having
times.
fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So that statement couldn't be any more true in my mind, because everything that we've been doing has been nothing but big fun. Like there hasn't been a lull since we've all met each other.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this what it is. And quite frankly, that's what the Campout is. That's just us showing anybody who wants to participate what we do on the regular.
It's like we always got something on the books too.
Yeah.
Like we don't ever not have something planned. Like it may be a while before we get to it, but it's like always something. We're always looking forward to some trip, the next trip or the camp out or whatever it is.
Absolutely right. Even during the colder months or the winter months, it's like where I come from with real cold and real snow and all that, like you have to stop.
Did you see that blizzard 3 weeks ago?
No, I didn't. I left this bitch.
You did that.
But you have to stop. Like you can still be the person that we are, right? But the bike is no longer the thing that you're kind of transporting to wherever you are. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I think Daytona is so big for all those cats in the northern states, because they just need a reason to get out. But here, there's no real time to push pause. You might have maybe 4 to 8 weeks if I'm being generous in some time. And you're talking like if you don't want to get wet type shit, or if you don't want to put on some long johns or whatever. Like, and that's about it. Like we've done things just to almost mock that in a sense. We did the polar ride. We did things to just try to say it really isn't anything that we're off. So if we're off, to your point, it's for a month, 3 weeks, right? And
I feel like the only time we're really off is when we tear our bikes down for some reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like when we get a cold snap, it's literally for 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
It's
and
usually
then,
a few days. And it's back to like
I fucked
60.
up. Yeah, it's usually 3 days.
Yeah, right.
And
then
it'll
it's
drop
back
into
up.
the 30s and then jump right back up to the 50s. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it makes it easier to plan, because we can host events all year long and do events all year long, which has been helpful for the anniversary party, because doing that like around New Year's every year, we've been pretty fortunate. This year was probably the coldest it's been, but it still wasn't. There's people still riding across Texas to get here,
Yeah.
So I enjoy it, man. Like,
Me too.
to the point of what you're saying, like I've been telling a lot of people that I talk to that ask about like what we do, and I've just always said like I've always done this. Like I did it with my bike club before you guys.
Yep.
I've always been traveling, or at least through my 30s for the most part. But you guys are the first guys that came around that wanted to go back again, right? A lot of people would want to go on these trips with me, and after they've done it, they're done, right? I don't really want to go back to Cali. We're like, dude, next time we come back here, like it keeps me energized to keep doing what I'm doing because I got stoked homies that want to do it too.
Yeah,
you know? Right. And then like you ripping down to Key West by yourself, like that's inspiring to me. Yeah. I thought it was dope that while you're in Key West, I'm finally knocking off the San Diego corner of the country.
We're on the totally opposite coast. That's cool.
I do love that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love the fact that when this all started, for us at least, the catalyst was motorcycles and meeting in town locally once a week, bike night stuff, right? So that's where the motorcycle was more important. Here we are into our 4th year of connection with all one another, and we have went from what was an event and a machine that was a catalyst to we're just full-blown family friends. Like we are all one. So the motorcycle in a sense has almost taken a back seat, which is crazy because we all ride fucking killer ass bikes, but the bike almost doesn't fucking matter no more because we can show up on whatever and still get clowned and still whatever, but we can show up in those cold months or whatever, cold weeks, we'll show up in a goddamn truck and it's the same shit.
Same party.
It's the same shit because it's now transitioned into the people as opposed to just, bike.
What I feel like what's really happening, and Cody was just talking about this before we started on, it's like the amount of people and different people that are planning to come to the Campout this year. I think that, we've put in the work over the last, 4 years now that now it's going to start crossing those boundaries into other types of guys and folks that ride bikes now. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have a lot more Hell Yeah Brothers here this year. But, to everybody understand, like, we don't hate these guys. It's not like they're like, fuck those guys. No. It's just like, it's just a joke. It's just good. It's just good fun to say.
It's comedy.
It is.
Yeah, it's comedy. It's like, they should just learn to talk shit back.
Yeah.
And, FXR Mike says it best all the time. It's like, or actually I don't know what he says, but he talks about it.
Go Wing Mike.
Go Wing Mike, actually. I don't want to misgender him.
Misgender.
But no, he does talk about it where it's like some people just don't know how to talk shit back. And
that's true.
They take it too serious.
Yeah.
It's probably a product of like maybe where you grew up, where you come from, maybe what your background is. Were you, kind of coddled as a kid? Were you a little bit of a hustler?
Or is he disrespecting me?
Or
is it a joke? It's a fucking joke.
I'm funny to you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm funny?
I'm a clown. So,
I mean, quite frankly, I'm nowhere near the best when it comes to haggling. We got some A+ guys when it comes to shit
nobody
talking.
can fuck with Jones. He's
Agreed.
the best shit talker. I'll put him up against anybody. The best shit talker I've ever met.
1,000%. He's witty as hell,
He's
and
quick
he's so
with it.
sharp on his comebacks.
Quick with it.
I agree with you 100%. James Jones, shout out.
But fuck you, Jones.
But I think a lot of mine is just like the skin. Really, like I said, comes from life. Whatever. A lot of it for me was growing up through sports, and that's all you do is you talk shit. All you do is you razz each other. All it was like it. Especially when you're talking about athletics, this is a continuation of that because you talk about. Like when you're talking trash, you're pushing people, you're motivating people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't do this shit. You're nowhere near as good as me, and then let me show you I can.
Yeah.
It's the same concept on fucking bikes. You can't fucking do this corner at 120, chump. Check. Let me see this right here. Yeah.
Oh, he couldn't
it's
do
the
it.
same thing.
Oh, he died.
It's the same thing. It's a little bit more extreme, but it's the way and this is what I said about it. I know to some of the guys that we actually hang out with on the regular is that so we're in our 4th year of hanging out consistently, right? So I think a lot of people that grow up and they stick in a comfort zone oftentimes refer back to high school, right? High school was a period of time where people were forced to be in the same things, were forced to be in the same activities, and there was a bond formed by that because of the time. Exactly. All of it. Even just through school, right? A lot of people, you grow up, you can be 20, 30, 40, 80, and you're like, my best friend's still this cat I grew up with since 6th grade.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. But this is the way I look at it, right? I still have a few of those,
got
right?
those people,
Just a few. But this is like, call it adult school or whatever. So we're senior year right now, right? So we've been putting in the whole time through school to the point where we are now almost to the point where those same folks that they went through their school together, we almost can say we had the same amount of time, right? So not that one is any better than another, but it definitely shows to me that you don't just have to be one, right? You don't just have to reach back to when you were 18 years old and be like, these are my homies, and that's it. Because I can't put in that time or effort to do it again.
To meet other people, yeah.
But that's all it was for all of us, was time and effort and uncomfortability, vulnerability. It's different because we were not forced to be in the same building like you were in school.
Yeah.
No.
We chose to be in this building, and it is everything and more, right? It's everything
it's
you
at
would,
an
you
all-time
would want
high
it to
right
be.
now.
Exactly. So now we're to the point where we are able to, I think, really show more people that are not just in our school, but that are all around us and our friends that throughout. So I think that's a great thing about leading into this year's Campout.
Oh, it's gonna be huge.
It will.
Well, it's one of those things when you talk about like the friends growing up and shit, because to grow is to introduce yourself to new people. And the only way you can really culture yourself and get to know what else is going on in the world or find new inspiration is to find new people. Yeah. I mean, that's where it comes from. Absolutely. And so like maybe you watch somebody online and that's dope, but like that they're there, they do that. It's like, man, fucking go figure out how to be a part of that. Yeah. And like being that guy that puts yourself in places to absorb. I mean, you can look at it in a lot of different ways. You could say like, oh, we've been A1 since day one. These are my old school homies. We've always done this, and those are all great. I mean, those things. I mean, I wish I had it, but at the same time, like my life has gone so much better whenever I allow new people into it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I try new shit, whenever I get inspired by people and I act on it.
Right.
And
so
then some people get stuck in their ways in their hometown and don't ever get out, or they start families, and you just your hobbies go different directions, or
you got the one guy that's out there, trying to see what the world looks like, and you got the other one like, man, the world looks great from right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think that's probably the most predominant example that you would find across America.
Yeah.
Is the folks that get set into their town, job, family lineage, right? Yeah. Cousins, grandparents, all that. We're all here, so why would I go anywhere else?
Right.
And it does perpetuate. If you don't ever take one of those folks out, then there's strength to that in the fact that, so you go, especially small town America, right? You go to small town America, and this town, well, Main Street, half of Main Street's owned by the Johnson family.
Yeah,
because they done been here for 100 years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So there is absolute strength in that. But the folks that don't have that, right, the yous and me's of the world,
the majority of the world,
exactly. Then you either find that in the community that you're in, or you go find your community, and then you develop who you are, or you find the community that is a representative of you. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about it too is that when people, you can draw a lot of lines back to the Campout. You know what I mean? From different parts of the country, different people that have been inspired to go take that to their neck of the woods. Yeah. Whether it be Craig or Steve or the many different dudes that have come to our campouts over the last couple of years and become very close friends of ours. Mm-hmm. RD's a good example. He's been coming to since the pre-camp out. And he's now he's finally, it took him about 4 years, but he finally transitioned, if you will, into Harleys, which was a good. You don't say that. And and now he's Arkansas, definitely, whether you got King Tony, you got Justin, you got Scott, you got a lot of heavy hitters, but you always look at RD too, because he's kind of one of the OGs there now. And in my eyes,
I agree.
That we're kind of doing what we were doing.
Day one.
Yeah.
He's the only one besides I think it was like 7 or 8 dudes that went to the pre-camp out. He's the only other person on the planet that can say he's been to every single one and the pre. And I think we'd be remiss to not acknowledge the people that have essentially made Camp Out what it is today, right? The folks that I think
MMC.
I think, but not even them, right? So
Show me your butthole.
the Craigs and the Steves and the guy, those guys, they get so much peep on here and just in the internet circles that we run with because of the effort that they made, and I love it. But there's been a baseline of folks that are primarily Texas folks, right?
Yeah.
That call it 30 to 60 people that have been baseline since day one. And everything has grown on their backs in addition to ours, in addition to whoever else joins. So this year we're talking about having hundreds and hundreds of people, right? Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have got to that point if it wasn't for all of those people.
And everybody promoting it.
So much love to all those people, because just like it wouldn't be shit without us, it wouldn't be shit without you.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Robert Cheek down there, he's a big thing. And
Adam in Houston's pushing
Adam in
it.
Houston. Fuck, dude. Jose in Waco.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
Big homie. Helped me build the studio here. He was part of the Hammer and Nails crew.
There's
There's
literally so many, and essentially it's almost like we take them for granted in a sense, because they are like our local crew, our local
kind of
family.
like, oh, we expect them to be there kind of thing.
Yeah, like if you're not there, really, like, come on. But like Alex and AJ, they've been there. All of our ladies have been there.
Man, I got a gender reveal. I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, fuck that dude, right?
You know, Big Chief. Even like the guys who have been there. I don't know that, not to everyone, but like to more of like some of my homeboys across the way, like Zach Mayfield and fucking Brady. They started coming to the first ones, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like stuff like that speaks volumes, because they have no reason, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have this same connection that we do. But like, for example, I think it was at 2 Fast Life Campout 2. Mayfield showed up. He's a machinist by trade, just like a bunch of these homies. And just for no reason at all other than he loves what we're doing and he loves the event, he shows up with these fucking keychains. And it's just like,
they're dope too.
My gift to you, man. Yeah. And he allowed Jace to just hand them out to who he chose. And that's just love. That's just what this is.
That was the first year we met Craig. And I remember we gave Craig one. We
gave
gave the flat tire dude on Instagram.
We did.
Because he was passing through while he was moving from Georgia to Phoenix.
It's so random, because we didn't even know that until the next day. Remember what we did?
Yeah.
We didn't even give it to him.
We set it on his door.
We hung it on his truck.
His like handle to get into his truck.
Yeah.
We just sat it on there. Like, hey man, there you go.
Thank you.
But stuff like that is, like I said, to me, that's what makes the foundation as strong as it is, and allows us to build into the numbers that we're looking at.
So last year was probably last year's camp out, the COVID camp out, basically is hands down the most unique one that we've ever done and will ever happen, because of the world climate that was taking place at the same time. Unless we get into like a world war and like people are fighting in America and we still do a camp out, which, hey, we might.
On, Garth.
Like, bring your guns.
We fighting.
But, you know, we did the camp out last year, literally 4 weeks after the whole country got shut down. Yeah. And we were expecting a huge turnout last year, like way bigger than it was, but it was still bigger than it's ever been. Right?
It was big.
Correct.
And this is with everybody not knowing, like all the dudes in Cali, they didn't know if they can get out of the state. They didn't know if gas stations and hotels were open to go across the country. Because the way the news was fucking describing it last year, like they were acting like there was checkpoints at every state line.
You had to quarantine for 14 days and shit.
Yeah, there was too much unknown shit, but we still had a massive turnout. And, you know, the stunt guys, like Zach was out there, and Outcast Culture, what was Homeboy's name?
Outcast Culture.
I forgot his actual name. I know everybody by Instagram names and shit, right? But
was it Sketchy?
Sketchy Guys, that's right, yeah. So they were out there doing wheelies, and fucking Black Charlotte was out there ripping wheelies, and Brad was out there ripping wheelies. Tony. Like that whole vibe. And this year the stunt vibe is going to be times 10 with Sit Down Steve coming and all those dudes.
The motherfuckers.
It's going to be a different dynamic. It really will.
They're a different breed, man.
Yeah. They're going to out-party us. They can't do that.
No.
They better not.
First off,
does burning your tires off your bike equal out partying?
Nah.
We're going to drink just as much. I
they
guarantee
party.
that. I know they fucking party. I'm just saying.
It was wild in Daytona.
I get it.
It was wild.
I get it.
Fucking Joe Kid and Steve over there hitting the punching bag machine. 2 bitches fighting over here in the corner. Tits out. Fucking bitch got her shirt ripped off.
Dragon's just sitting there like, titty.
Dragon wasn't there. It was me and Jones and Joe Kid.
And Joe Kid. But yeah, so like last year's Campout was super unique and different. I think last year was the first year we made it 3 nights. Yeah. Right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It was.
And we still had over 200 people show up last year, you know? And this year, you know, it's definitely gaining a lot more traction, I think, because
It's going to be double that.
I think
for sure.
it's like I'm trying to think about it, and it's like you get the Arkansas cats, right? Like these dudes started, they kind of created the Polar Ride. Craig's Campout was a big one. I know you guys didn't get to go, but just the way Arkansas showed up to that and the way it got planned, like these different pockets of people are like looking for the next event like we are.
Yeah.
So it's like they have a calendar now in Arkansas, and there's cats up in Michigan and Ohio and the Tennessee cats. Everybody's out here doing what we do now, which is like, all right, we got this. I guess a gender reveal in the middle of somewhere. And then, from there, like their whole life is these trips and these bikes and getting back to the homies and partying.
And it's like everybody, like, it's kind of weird. Like, it's almost the first thing I bring up. Like, anybody I meet new on a bike that I feel like's in our clique, I'm like, it's the first thing I bring. Man, you need to come to Campout. Like, I broadcast it to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, those dudes I met headed to Key West. They were from Austin.
Yeah.
Those Paul and Mitch and Eric rode up on these dudes, south of Tampa. Like, I was like, Texas plates, Simpson helmets. We got to know some of the same people. I'm like, no fucking way. We pull over gas station, cool dudes, fucking from Austin. I'm like, dude, y'all got to come to the Campout. We fucking finished riding to Key West together, and I was churching up the whole time. Now they're all fucking coming. Like,
and
why do you feel like you do that, though? Why do you feel, because I lead with that very often as well. I think a lot of our guys do. Why do you feel like
my explanation for it is that it's my favorite event of the year. Sturgis, Daytona, all of it. That is my favorite event of the year. It's the most down-to-earth, grassroots, fucking just show up, be a man, fucking party, ride your bike if you want to. You don't even have to ride. Just show up and fucking party if you want to. But
is that a bike out front?
I think it might be the neighbor's garage door.
Truck that they've been working on.
But,
Fucking rednecks.
I'm just like, it's my favorite event.
Yeah.
Because it's so...
Yeah.
You go to Sturgis and, you see 500,000 people, but how many of them do you talk to?
Yeah.
You're pretty much going to mingle with everybody at this fucking Campout.
Well, that's the point, right? Some people look at numbers. Like, I want to go to the big thing. Well, this is the little thing that's big to the people that are at it, right? Yeah. So, would you rather go and be a part of something small that like you have now ownership in? Like I've always said this with the Campout, right? We're gonna do the Campout as long as the Campout needs to be done. At some point, maybe it gets too big and it's not what it is anymore, and we just got to stop it.
It's gonna,
know?
Yeah.
At that point, like, I've already had so many people reaching out wanting to do vendor spots and all that shit, and, like, people want to sponsor it, and I'm like, no, man, like, I don't want it to be this.
It's the wrong spot, for sure.
Sponsor some beer. If you want to sponsor something.
Yeah.
I think the best way...
We'll hang your banner up.
But the best way to describe to me that you... Like, the way that we essentially solicit what we feel about it is that it is the one event that is most representative as a whole of who we are. Yeah. It is essentially family and friends built event for nothing but people who want to come and have an enjoyable atmosphere,
motorcycle experience.
It was
it's not clubby, it's not fucking tough guys, it's not bullshit. There's not a bunch of vendors throwing shit in your face. It's family friendly. Yeah. In a lot of ways, for motorcycle family friendly, right? There's not a bunch of children running around, none of that bullshit.
Leave your kids at home.
There's grown people and a couple dogs. That's it, right? But it is also a riding friendly Campout. It is not. It is not just in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing to do. You've come just to hang out.
Right.
There is high quality riding very nearby,
within 40 miles. Yeah.
Right. And then lastly, it is a full out party.
Yeah.
And those are things. I think
Springer.
Those are the three things that are kind of like our baseline for everything we do, right? Yeah. Everything we do, whether it's near, far, wherever, we're looking for those three things. You don't always find them all. You might find great ride here. You might find a great party here. You might find great people here. That one event, the baseline, is it has all of those.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Well, the other thing I've always, I've been trying to articulate it in some of the posts that I've been making is like, look, this camp out starts the moment you pull out of your driveway on your bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that
really is the trip.
A trip.
And, when I try to explain that to people when all these cats up in NorCal, like I met one of the dudes, I forget his Instagram name. He hung out with me in Monterey, and he's riding from fucking Monterey, basically, all the way to the camp out.
Yeah.
And dude's from San Antonio, military guy. He's rolling. He's got a CVO Road Glide, but he's like our age. You know what I mean? So he's not like an old rich fuck. He's
got good credit.
He's got good credit, yeah. But he's a solid dude, man. He fucking rides miles, and he's going to the camp out. There's a lot of people in the NorCal area that I'm hearing now that want to come, but the camp out is like when they're sitting there looking at the map, like figuring out their route. When they're sitting there meeting these people from other parts of their area that they don't really know, and they ride there. Now, what happens is when this cat links up with the dudes from Sacramento and maybe the dudes from the Bay Area, and then I guess the same thing, with that area,
Inner
right? When they link up and they ride across the country together, those dudes are connected for life for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Memories, man.
Miles is a very valuable thing to motorcycle riders.
Yeah.
Big time.
And so when I try to explain this to people, I don't know how to articulate it in words the way I just said it. It's like when you're sitting there and you're linking up and that excitement when you get on your bike, whether you're leaving early in the morning like we usually do or whatever you plan to do, and that first like, say from there, you're definitely going to probably stop at least one time before you make it to the camp out overnight, right? What's that night going to be like with all these new dudes you just met?
That's right.
You gonna fucking go to bed, or you gonna fucking
you
hang
here
out
to
and
party?
or you gonna fucking talk?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You're gonna get to know these motherfuckers. And you remember Craig did it with the dude from Louisiana.
Yeah,
Blake, right?
Yep.
And when he pulled up, Craig rode from Florida to New Orleans, I believe.
Yeah.
And then ripped from there up. Not as long as NorCal to the camp out, but it's the same thing.
Still
He
a
has
long
a
fucking way.
connection.
Same
to New
concept.
Orleans,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never
Yeah.
met the person
1,200
in your
miles or so.
life.
Yeah.
And then you ride essentially a quarter of the way across the country with a guy.
Yeah.
To show up at the same thing that you was both trying to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Because quite frankly, unless if you're Adam Sandoval and you live there, nobody is close to this place.
You ain't going no more.
The closest people are the cats from Arkansas, and they still got to do whatever.
No, they
100
probably
and a
got
quarter or something, 120.
We're what, 160, 170?
I thought we were even. I thought we were over 200. I guess I come from the other side of town, so maybe.
I think 200.
I'm about 150, 160.
I think we're about 160.
Point is, it's.
It's not far from
I know. Listen, California.
Cali.
Listen, California. All the events are close for you, motherfuckers. So it's about time we have one close.
Ain't got to leave the state.
Exactly. Do you think that Californians ever get tired of California?
I don't think that they appreciate it as much as we do.
I think that can be said about anywhere.
Well,
though, right?
I don't want to generalize that much. I think that certain dudes do and certain ones don't. I mean, the thing is about for living in Texas, living in the Midwest or the South, where we're the cusp
We
of
are
each
in
other.
the South, bro.
Whatever.
We talked about this.
We're in Texas. That's all we are. Being here, like, we appreciate all that shit so much because we don't have it, right?
Agreed.
And that's why I fuck with like Lance and Galen so hard, because those dudes, they just ride. It is about the ride. Like you can ride these canyons all day, you can ride these mountains, these coastlines, and they're amazing. They're always going to be amazing. But if you want to find the next level of, you got to get to a point where you can find the amazing riding in the most not visibly, like it doesn't have all the clickbait, right?
Right.
Sure. It's just a road. It's just a path to where you're going. But something about it is amazing. And that's where you find real enjoyment in riding across country, right? Going through these places you never want to be at. Chasing the storm, leaving Fort Sumner, trying to get to fucking Muleshoe. You know what I mean? Like, those times are what traveling on bikes is all
that
about.
Last 100-mile rip, trying to get to the fucking hotel 100 miles an hour, yeah.
Those things, like, you
Those
can't...
things make it a fucking...
These places, like, the other thing that I try to look at is, like, yeah, we can always church up, the highways in Sturgis, the
coastline,
the
PCH,
coastline,
yeah.
the mountain rides. But, man, sometimes when you're going through, like, we did Dodge City last year.
That was dope.
I dug it. I'm like, why the fuck would I ever in my life go to Dodge City?
Yeah.
It's not off a major highway where we're going anywhere. but there's so much history to it. And so you find the history behind these things, and it changes your perspective. Like, fuck, I want to check out Dodge City. Yeah. We fucking played cards with goddamn Doc Holliday. He had a gun under the table.
Right. So you win.
I agree. The hidden gems, I think, are the thing that is almost a lost art in America now, because it's a country that I think a lot of folks take for granted, right? They don't explore it the way that I think maybe it deserves to be explored. And then oftentimes when they do finally get around to doing it, they do it the laziest way possible. Yeah, they do, let's go to what everybody says is cool. Let's go to this tourist spot here. And I can appreciate the effort it takes to see said tourist trap, right? Mm-hmm. But if that's all you ever get, that's all you ever see, to me, you almost have lost the beauty of what traveling this country offers. Yeah. Because it's all the in-betweens. It's all the small towns. It's all the people that essentially throughout their existence have just flat out been overlooked, right? Mm. The flyover states, if you will. There's so much beauty in those areas that people just fucking ignore because they go to the same dozen hot spots that everybody says to do, and it's a bummer because you're missing an opportunity for something.
What I like to tell people is this: it's like, to your point, it's, you know what? There's nothing to do in Dodge City, right? There's a couple cool things you can see, but when it's all of us together, there's plenty to do in Dodge City.
You make your own fucking party.
Rock Springs, Wyoming, dude. We fucking shut that town down, didn't we?
Bro, literally. There were 0 people on the street in that goddamn town. 0.
No, that was Red Lodge. We did that too to Red Lodge. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. But it's true. It's just this is why the Campout means so much to us, because we know regardless of where we're going to go, we're going to have
we know it's the gateway drug.
We're going to have a good ass time. Exactly. You want to get hooked on drugs, bring ass.
We going to have some drugs,
we going to bring the drugs
You don't want this Dewey Cox. It makes you feel real good.
But that's it. That is truly it, because we know how good.
Didn't you do your first drugs at the camp?
At the pre-camp out, I sure did.
Yeah. Oh no, that was. You thought you were doing.
You can call them drugs. I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing, but it's the first thing I done put in my body.
That sounds fun. I think I want some of that cocaine.
Snorted caffeine. Yeah. I ain't never done cocaine.
Motherfucker, I ain't say all that.
Didn't you do weed the first time, or did you do it before?
I think last year he took like a 3-hour nap in a chair.
Last year after mimosa morning, I was mad fucked up already, and then I decided to insert myself into the fucking puff puff pass circle, and I just got ripped out my mind for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it was not cool. I did not like it at all. I did not like it. I was frozen in a chair, dude. Literally, like Cano and Austin like showed up. And my body was stuck, and I was like looking at him. I couldn't even talk. It was not cool. It's not cool at all, dude. And then I start talking to all my stoner friends. And they're like, "Yeah, dude, I don't even fucking take a hitter after I'm wasted." I'm like, "Now you fucking tell me why y'all give me that
Thanks
shit."
for the heads up.
Yeah, makes y'all paranoid.
It didn't work.
Is this gonna go away?
Yeah.
Am I paralyzed?
I don't know the rules. I'm a baby when it comes to them drug shits.
I wonder if they got a book like Weed for Dummies, like lets you know all the etiquette for smoking and when you can, can't, should.
You know, it's funny because I feel like, especially the cats that do smoke, like they went through the uncomfortability. They went through like drug puberty when they was teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So they had to do all the weird shit and be like, "Oh, I found my first titty." You know what I'm saying? Like, I rolled my first joint. You know what I'm saying though, right? And they're so far beyond that. They're like, they don't even think about it, right? Yeah. It's like trying to learn to ride again. Like, I tried to teach my girl how to ride a couple years ago, and I'm like, everything I just take for granted or second nature. The same concept, I think, with fucking, especially stoners, because they're like, I've been doing this shit like for a long time. Yeah. So just the simplest of simple questions, they don't even think about anymore. Where I'm like, so how you do this? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing right now. It's so green. So, but that's
watching,
so
Lot Lizard and Kenny
that's all
on our trip last year after Sturgis.
Smoke.
After every gas stop, one of those dudes were walking up to each other like, "You're holding a bowl."
Yeah,
it's like, God damn.
Yeah, I got you, man.
They turn it into a thing, smoking around America.
Yeah.
smoking around. That is awesome.
It's just a different life. But that, I mean,
But
quite frankly,
most stoners, I don't think they drink that much. It's like,
Yeah.
Kenny does it all, baby.
That's their
That dude's
thing.
wild.
They
Yeah.
smoke.
But that's you know what? That's a great transition into the crossover of because they're full stunt life, right?
Yeah.
They love that life, live that life. And when we talk about Campout, bring it back to that. Like there are dudes, and like they traveled with us for the first time last year, right? I hope they intend on going to the camp. I know Zach did last year, but like I think they see some of the crossover allure. I know I see the crossover allure when it comes to the stunt stuff. It's outstanding. It's amazing to watch. It's fun to watch. I know I'm not that guy though.
It's also challenging, so it gives you that
extremely.
those dudes that are out there trying to learn how to wheelie, like Brad and Kenny and things like that. They know how to wheelie, but as they're learning all these different things, like
Getting better,
yeah,
practicing.
it's something to do other than like, hey, let's ride to the bar.
I love the fact that the
I wish I
life
had a
is
bike
not
I could
being
thrash. I'd
defined.
try it.
It's not being defined by
That big
you
word
are
out.
this or you are that.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive, and that's the best part about it to me because, like you said, once the bikes get parked and it's a wrap, then it's just the people.
It's just
Yeah.
you.
It's just it's the same. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking wheelie guy, you're a 10,000-mile guy, you're 100,000. It doesn't matter because when the bonfire's lit and you're chilling, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's why.
Fuck your bike.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get, like we were talking about earlier, about our old friends from high school and all that stuff. I'm still pretty close with mine.
Yeah.
Or some of them for the most part. But I'm trying to get a lot of them to come to the camp out just to experience you don't have to show up on a bike to have fun. You know?
Fucking
There's
camaraderie
more
and
outside of
the-
fucking Ellis County.
So many badass people there.
Exactly. Get
and I
people out of
want-
their comfort zone.
Yes.
You know?
And,
Yeah.
And I've had a couple ask me where to look for a good bike. You know, them seeing all my posts and them starting to follow you guys and seeing all the fun that we're having. They're messaging me like, "Hey, where can I get a decent bike?"
Right.
I love that. I love that because I think the best part about what you would call like our generation, kind of the torch bearers into the next, right, is the amount of inclusivity and welcomeness that we all show. It feels like a significant difference from what I grew up around, and I think that's why it's connected with me so much because that is my personality in so many ways, and I wasn't the guy who went to like a lot grandfathers, fathers, but they were in. The war was the connection for a lot of them, and then the motorcycle transitioned from that. So there was that foundation, and it was basically you either are or you aren't. And when you weren't, you felt it. Like you felt very much that you weren't. You were not fucking welcome, right? At all. But there's no mistaking now. It is 1,000% you are more than welcome. And the only person you can now blame for not being involved is your fucking self.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not us. It's not people who are doing other events. If you choose to still not put forth the effort, I cannot help you on that.
It's your own fault.
The price of admission to this lifestyle is just showing up and being present. Realistic. I mean, we get guys that come out to the camp out every year that like we don't even notice that they're there. Right, because they're
just sitting in
on
the
the
background
outskirts.
enjoying. You know,
I
like
mean,
they
if
just-
that's what they
if
want to
that's
be,
your personality, then fucking cool.
Cool,
At
but,
least
you know,
they're there supporting. And
the thing is, like these guys that we talk about that show up to the camp out that become close friends with us are the guys that showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
Right, they showed up, they talked to us, they brought something to the party. And look,
and
you ain't got to do that.
and not showing out in a sense of
Being the coolest guy
I got the
there.
baddest bike here. Or,
Yeah.
it's nothing like
Anybody that shows
It's
up to
showing
the
out with
camp
a,
out-
with a good personality and having a good time.
Yeah,
introduce
anybody that
yourself.
shows up
Yeah.
to the camp out is going to realize real quick that your bike
Doesn't fucking matter.
doesn't matter.
Fuck your bike. Yeah.
Like if you're gonna get basically, if you will, judged on who you are.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why everybody in our circle nationwide now is so fucking red.
It's good fucking people
Because
we're not going to put up with no
they're not
bullshit.
hiding behind a bike.
Yeah.
You know, Like, they're not hiding behind a helmet. They're here. Like, they parked the bike on the side, and now they're out there talking, and they're being, you know, like, this is the first date, motherfucker. Like, let's see what you got to say. I saw your profile picture. Let's see what you got. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly
dudes have to show up. People, you know, women. We got a lot more women riders coming out to this camp out this year.
Yeah.
And Jaden promised that there would be no raping at this camp out.
Okay.
All right.
Are we raping?
Fair enough.
Is this a rape? My life,
Dude,
my life
was that last year? We was kind of sitting around in the morning and like I think it's maybe a little drizzly. Like
I don't know why.
waiting for that shit to blow over.
I do not know why. I really haven't had Jacob on the podcast yet.
He's hilarious, especially let that.
Was it just the first one in Colorado?
Dude, every time we've done a trip with Jacob,
I love it.
we walk away with some more redneckism,
Redneckism.
right? Well, we went to Tennessee last year. Wasn't our word like "tache"?
Tache.
He's so pure.
Instead of touche,
He's so
he goes,
touche.
he goes, okay, tache.
He's been saying that forever.
He is a fucking gem.
He's got those good one-liners too, like you know, or he's quick with it, like
Craig.
Jones kind of.
But isn't that the best part about it, right? I mean, the story of even that connection is Cody came to the first.
Yeah.
Cody went back and got his homeboys. They come to the second. Lifelong friends.
Yep.
Forever.
Done a lot of
Do
miles.
that in your community. Why can't you do if nobody else has the stones to do that, make that be you. You be Cody and show these people what it is about and what it takes to connect with droves of people that do the same thing.
Yeah, you
as
just gotta get out and find them.
Because as soon as so when you see something online, or just same thing as like the old school, you see it on television, right? It's almost like unattainable. It's like people coming from all over the country and going to the fucking goddamn ghetto to see Gas Monkey guys because they seen them on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unattainable. Come put your hands on this shit and then bring that back to your people and say this was everything you thought it was and more.
Y'all gotta check this
You know what?
out.
Fair enough. Make your own decision.
Yeah.
Because I acknowledge it's not the exact same experience for everyone. It can't be, especially the larger we get. It can't be. But you know what you can do is you can put your best foot forward to try and make it the best experience it is for you. That's all you can do.
Sometimes, like, I know how weird it is to see a big ass campfire, and I can't even imagine what that's gonna look like this year. But just even if you're not, you don't have to be a guy that is coming up to talk. Just come up and be like, hey man, I have no problems doing this to people. I do it to people, right? People do it to me. Hey man, I follow you on Instagram, dude. I love what you do. It is not a lesser man to say that. It is just like, look, man, like,
it's weird.
what you do.
It's weird. It's
is
kind of
dope.
awkward at first,
It
but
is.
I mean, it's really this day and age. That's how we keep up with people. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking Instagram or whatever.
Well,
you
it's
know?
like when I say I follow you on Instagram, that means that I know everything that you're doing,
Yes,
right?
right.
And so if you don't follow me, then you don't know anything about me,
Right.
And depending on the situation, maybe like, oh man, so what's your name? Like, where'd you ride down from?
yeah, or you,
Oh fuck, you rode all the way from there?
yeah.
All immediately. What do you do for a living? Oh, you fucking do this, dude. My boy over here does that, and then bam, you're in the fucking circle, dude. It's
Immediate conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
really all it is. And quite frankly, I think that that's something that doesn't necessarily get the respect that it deserves sometimes, is that it is okay to just absorb and listen.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you don't
you
have
don't
to be
always
the
have to be
speaker
the
all
guy
the
fucking
time.
running your
Yeah.
ass. And because sometimes there is value, extensive value in just sitting there and absorbing. Especially when
First
you come
camp out.
And there's
Yo.
people that I love just sitting and listening to.
Yeah.
And like Jay says all the time, when motherfuckers are holding church
Holding
or
court.
or holding
Yeah, yeah.
court,
Yeah.
like just fucking sit back and listen, because
Yeah.
there's motherfuckers out there that got some knowledge and been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Just fucking sit back and listen. It's good stories. 90% of the time, it's badass stories.
Agreed.
That's gonna fucking
Yeah, so the first year, remember Joe Kid was there sitting
Yeah.
around the campfire holding FXR court till like
Yeah.
7 a.m.
I do. It ended
do
up
the
just
same
being
thing
like
in
a
Maggie
circle of
Valley.
cats.
Yeah.
Just fucking holding court over.
It is what it is.
It is. It's cool though. It's super cool.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
We need more champagne, dude.
what other format? or forum? what other forum can
I'm
you
down
really
to 6 ounces.
Right? I'm down to a 4. What's that mix?
Maybe bring some doolies up here too.
What other forum can you go to that is that the walls are down, that it's that inviting, and that you can truly kind of make it what it is to you based on how you decide to approach it. Whether you listen and absorb, and that is just holy shit, knowledge overload, and that's what you took away from it. Whether you decide to be the guy last year who had nobody knew who he was, but he just showed up and got super shitty, and he was half naked with overalls, and he tried to jump the fire at the end of the night. You can be that guy. You can be the guy who has a lot to add conversationally, but nobody knew you before 4 hours ago. You know what there's so much that can be had that is out there that the only way that you're going to find out what that is by showing up.
Yeah.
There's only that way.
So, I was thinking about so this is the other thing that I've been trying to do. So, as a business in this industry, I've been trying to get other brands to come to the Campout as individuals and not brands.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't come as a brand.
I was like, do you like to ride? Oh, yeah, your company's about motorcycle parts, right? Well, show up and show them that you are a biker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that you'll have like a customer base out of this. I mean, think about it. Justin's a prime example. If Justin makes anything, my machinist, if he makes anything that we can use on our bike, we would run it, right?
We'll buy it from him first.
From him first, because we know him and he fucks with us and he comes out.
Him.
Yeah. Same thing with Tony. I mean, I don't really get to do a lot of things with Tony at Rebels Den, but I had him do my service work on my bike. Just trying to keep money in my homies' pockets.
Yeah.
People that ride with me, people that drink with me, people that party with me.
Support those that support you.
And so, whenever I think we got Scott's going to come out this year. He's going to drive the Simpson van up, but there's not going to be any Simpsons for sale.
Yeah, fuck it.
And I want people to understand why I fuck with Simpson so hard, and I know why you guys fuck with him hard.
He shows up and he parties with
They're like,
us.
why do you like Simpson over all these other helmets? Like, because we fucking get drunk together.
He's the guy.
He parties with us. He takes his shirt off with us.
Hell yeah.
The best part about it, though,
Dude, can you
is
imagine 500 dudes with their shirts off this year?
Dude, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
better be some bitches with their shirts on.
I'm about to say maybe a couple chicks in there.
It's gonna be like one big pussy magnet in Oklahoma.
Bro, I mean, let's be real.
The Megatron.
It is like, it's just a giant fucking sausage party to begin with for the most part. Like, most of this fucking performance bagger type shit is, whatever Donna bro, it's just a bunch of
It's dudes jerking
right?
dudes
flat
off.
out, flat out.
Much. I mean, it's
You don't say that.
It's the real truth.
Nah. Well, we're trying to get more vag there.
Yeah,
We just got to make sure that we're trying to let them know we're not raping there. So
not raping.
But quite
we
frankly,
did a podcast. We
If
tried
you
to do
allow, we might.
we did a cold snack podcast with Jaden, and we couldn't release it because of what I just said basically right
got
now.
all rapey.
He goes, well, look, just show up. You're not gonna get raped. But he said it with such a deep voice.
Yeah. He got weird about it.
Yeah,
So wrong.
I felt like he was gonna rape me.
You might.
He had the craziest look in his eyes. And at one point, he said, "Let's get it on."
Dude, me and Jay showed up last night. Jaden was already on one. Like, he was fucking.
He told us the same story 3 times.
Oh, at least. At least.
I'm like, oh shit, he's that drunk.
Yeah. He had to be 12 in already when we showed up.
But we show up to the Texas L Project down there where we
It's a nice
hung
spot,
out.
man.
I remember that.
Um,
It is a nice spot.
Nice spot.
Jaden's like this with the fucking owner now.
Yeah, he's tight with him.
I mean,
The owner was hanging out with us, like, yeah, man, y'all should do some stuff here. And
He
blah, blah,
called
blah.
Jaden's bike a Sportster. No offense, Sex.
Hey,
He's like, fuck you, it ain't no Sportster.
anything that's like a mile away from his crib, you know.
Yeah.
You got to make it your home base.
That would be a good spot, though.
It is.
they
But
got
no,
good
that
parking too.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
good parking.
We went
And
through
he-
that one
he was-
time, and they was like doing haircuts and fucking. They had
That's
stand
the brass
up
tacks.
there. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm stoked, man. I think that there's a lot of people like in this street. Let me just say, like, I'm gonna pull the Joe Kid real quick. If Denton Performance came out, we partied with Denton in the hotel room that night.
Yeah.
he said he wanted to come out. If he does, I think that he would fit in so well with this whole world because he parties.
He's a sociable dude.
He's a sociable dude. Yeah. I think so many of these guys that are industry people that are probably looking at like planning their trips based on, you know, is this a good business trip?
Yeah,
I think that there's not a what do you call it? Like, there's not like this like statistics. Like if you go to this camp out, then you're guaranteed to get more stuff here.
Yeah.
You're going to the shows wherever. No, like this camp out is where you're going to sit there and be able to talk to people intimately about your products, and they're going to get to ride next to you on the Talamina and these other parts. Right? You can't
see if you're a fucking good person or not.
Yeah.
You know,
I think Bare Knuckle Paul was going to come through.
Okay.
I think he was talking about. I know we got Insta having Kyle's bringing his Indian down there.
Good.
Gay?
Good. No, not gay. Good.
Nah, I'm actually shooting his bike for a magazine, so I'm pretty stoked.
for real?
Yeah,
Nice.
That thing looks nice.
it's looking good.
It is looking good. I'll give him.
This is what I love about all this, right? Online, me and him talk shit to each other. Like I hate Indians, and he's always like putting my name on the bike, and
Clowning.
it's fucking fun.
It's fun.
This is like real friendships. This is what real friendships look like.
And I hung out with Kyle quite a bit in Daytona, and man, you can't get a better guy than
Solid dude, man.
Solid fucking dude.
He told his kid to get out of his bed. Jace is sleeping in it tonight.
I'm looking forward to meeting some of the cats that have only been internet connections thus far. And that's the great thing. Like, so before we totally move past that point that you were making, though, about the individual showing up versus the brand, we have a couple examples that are prime examples of why it's important for you to be present as a person versus be present as a company. Not just Jace and his paintwork. He's kind of the nucleus of all of this. But when it comes to individuals coming through, the ones that I can think of specifically are Scott Holbrooks out of Simpson and Mark from Lexin. Because both of them we know intimately as people first. And subsequently, we fuck with their products harder than anything. It didn't have to be show up as your brand and then we'll see what happens. Show up as the person. I fuck with the person, and subsequent, you got a brand too? You are now my brand of choice.
It's
unfortunately, just that simple.
Like, even though I have no issues to say about any products that I run, we all run Lexins, we love them. We all run Simpsons, we love them. But when people want me to say, like, hey, so why do you choose these products? I'm like, because those are my dudes.
Exactly.
Oh, that doesn't give me a good product. I don't give a fuck, man.
I'm not
like,
trying to be a product reviewer. You asked me a question, why do I fuck with them? That's why.
I support my people that support
me.
1,000%
fuck with somebody who I know.
You could call
if I know
any of those dudes, and if you needed help, I guarantee you'd be there.
If I have your phone number in my phone, I know you, right? You are a person to me. You are not just a face on the internet or a IG handle. I actually know the man or the woman, because that's all in my life, at my age, that's all I care about anymore. I don't need a zillion followers because it doesn't fucking matter anything.
And everybody thinks these dudes are like big business, like it's a huge business. No. It's not. It's small, tight knit shit. You know,
you made this point before about having a good sized group of loyal folks that you really mess with, and that's all you will ever need, because even with that size group, you'll have all the work you could ever desire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if small businesses, because truly that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the major. We're not talking about
Amazon.
Harley Davidson, right? We are talking about the us guys. We are talking about the guys that do what we do and actually have their own small business within this network of folks, right? So those people, by having the intimate personal connection, that's how you, to me, solidify customers and long-term relationships throughout this scene.
Yeah,
sure. 1,000%. Because it is a change from big business mentality. Big business mentality is go to the rally, post up, and sit there and have everybody just fucking glance at your shit and walk by you.
Hey, man,
like
is this better than Cena?
It's bullshit. You tell me.
Is this better than Cena?
Yeah.
So how does this compare to Cena?
How effective that is.
Fucking Steve threw that
How
Cena on the
effective
roof.
that is. It can't be
Dude,
effective.
we burned a helmet for
Unless
Simpson.
if
Yeah, we sacrificed the helmet. We did do that.
Sacrificed the helmet and a
Oh, for
Cena.
sure.
And a Cena. But that's
An HJC
Yeah.
helmet.
Fuck that HJC.
well, here's the deal. We all
Got a new
ride.
Simpson though, didn't it?
We all ride across country, and we ride. I do. I'm bragging here, so let me posture.
Weird flex.
I just did my 7th iron butt on this last trip. Still don't have a patch. Don't need it because I know I did it.
Fuck it.
But I do these in these helmets. Like I've done an iron butt in the Bell. Not a bad helmet. It's a great helmet, 100%. I've also done it in my helmets over there, and I fucking just prefer those personally. And the fact that like, and I have a good relationship with the guy that runs Bell too. He's a solid dude, and Bell does a lot for our industry.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
They support a lot of shit.
But I'm Texas, man, and you know what's in Texas is Simpson.
Fucking Simpson.
And you know what else? That becoming friends with Scott has catapulted this podcast. It catapulted my career with painting helmets, and they have the perfect canvas for me to paint, and they also work really great for
look
wearing.
good. And they look good. And
Couldn't have.
I don't know about
better
y'all, but
sponsorship
sometimes
partner,
I
quite
sacrifice. I'm not saying it's bad product, but sometimes I sacrifice quality for the look of something. If it looks good, I'm gonna fucking run it.
Yeah.
You know.
like that busted bike you got going out there to look good. It don't work.
What's busted? Bitch, I got 2 trophies.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Fuck with you.
Dude, that was a weird flex right there. You come home and park your shit in the
Right?
fucking driveway
Well,
and put all your
the reason I did
even
that-
put the fucking
You
cleaning
fancy.
products you want out there too.
Wow.
So the
how many,
company,
how many
that,
hashtags did you
the
give out?
company that I won the shit from,
Yeah.
they wanted me to make a post, so
Oh yeah, okay.
they asked me to.
The award was contingent
So I
upon
did
your
it.
post.
So I did it. I wasn't trying to flex on y'all motherfuckers, but I flexed on y'all.
It
motherfuckers.
worked. It worked.
Anytime anybody can ride their bike across the country
I was
and go
stoked.
further than the destination, and then come back to it and win some
and
shows.
win a fucking show, dude.
That's what biking is
I
all
did
about,
not-
Happy days.
or motorcycling. I think you say
yeah.
biking, it's like bicycles.
But that's
not
me. That's like
respecting
the
it.
new age, the transitional torchbearers. That's what a lot of us are. I don't want to say just getting into, but just they're coming to a point where they're realizing how valuable that is in just life.
Yeah, and I'm not saying my bike probably wasn't the best bike at the show, but I think the judges and the people are they're watching. You know, everybody's watching on Instagram. They're seeing the people that actually ride their bikes.
You got that right.
And they're seeing the motherfuckers that trailer their shit there and ride it to the show and back.
Dude, I was like drunk the other night, maybe last night, maybe 2 nights ago. I can't remember. Drunk all of them, and I had this good post, but it was a straight shit talking post, and it was like sometimes like the shit that I normally talk, I know it would pass over with all my homies really well, but it's just like when I did that shit talking post on that performance bagger page that one time, and everybody took it the wrong way, like that. I had to calm down with that, but it was like. It was no. I had a picture of my Big Wheel, and I was gonna post it up because I had a picture of it at Bixby Bridge in Big Sur, or on the way to Big Sur, and it was like I put more miles on this bike than half you performance bagger dudes did.
Oh, you fancy.
Hey, fucking post it because
Around
it's
the
a
world,
goddamn
yeah,
truth.
yeah.
Half of them don't fucking ride their bike.
I know, right? What's his name? Big Trouble?
Hey, I can't say a bad thing
No,
about Mark.
trailer ass motherfucker.
I'll
dude.
tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing
a
his
good
ass too.
dude.
He's the
I
best.
needs to meet these
Dude,
guys that
he's
unfortunately I
fucking-
just
he
haven't
is
come
a
across.
solid.
Him,
This-
Kyle,
this
the
is
guys
Big
that
Trouble.
you guys talk about all the time.
But you
we
can't
just
give him
haven't
shit
crossed them.
because he'll take
I
it.
haven't.
Yeah, Joe said he's like, please don't tell Jace. And then now you're talking shit.
There you go.
Joe did say that. I know Craig said that.
Oh, it was
It
Craig.
was Craig. So
Okay.
this is the thing about Big Trouble. Like, I don't know how we connected, but we connected through Instagram to paint his Dyna.
Yeah.
Actually, we painted a helmet a couple years ago.
That's
And it was
what's
funny because the moment that he gave me a deposit for that helmet, I was sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings with Mark, and he was having his first margarita in 2 years.
Wow.
That's how weird, like, that dude sending me a deposit for his helmet at that moment. And he was the first helmet I did after my grandfather died. So we got back from our Cali trip, like, we were back fucking like a week or two, and then my grandfather passed, and then I did his helmet and Craig's helmet.
Right.
And then it's just weird. Like, we had this, like, I would talk to him, you know, doing business. Like, we'd have these long conversations, you know, and then talking about all kinds of shit. And the first time I met him was when we pulled up at the Down South Campout last year, and he was already drinking. And as soon as I pulled up, we had never really talked shit to each other. But as soon as we pulled up, it was a shit-talking fest. It was like, who can out shit-talk each other? And that was our relationship.
That's the best.
And
Sometimes
since then,
it's the best.
You're comfortable. Well, you're comfortable with somebody. If you pull up and the first thing you do is start talking shit, you're comfortable with somebody. You've had enough conversations online or whatever the fuck it is to be comfortable.
But I think back to your awards at Daytona, I think you're absolutely right. Bullshit walks, or what's the saying? Like real shit talks and bullshit walks, whatever it is. Yeah. But like you are seen. The things that you're doing are seen. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you would love to have your paint fresh day one paint. I'd love to have no rock chips in my shit no more. But
you had a good saying about that though. You should tell people what like your perspective of like before you started traveling and living in like living a life on a motorcycle versus it was a possession. You know what I mean? How you would talk about how like you see other people's bikes that were kind of ran down and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to recall exactly what I said, but no, in that mindset, there is a difference. And I think that essentially these people sitting around this table and all the guys that know that they're the homies, there was a mind shift. And yeah, that's gone, homie. Oh, gone. That's gone. You want to do it? You want something, man?
The other bottles gone?
Yeah, they're all gone. We're alcoholics, bro. But no, the mindset is different depending upon the circle that you are around. I do think that.
Sure.
And the circle that I grew up with was essentially keep your shit nice, go where you need to go, do the bar thing, all of that. But every now and again, you would go to wherever you were, and there was a guy with just some raggedy ass shit, right? Busted up, couple things holding on by straps or whatever, and everybody would clown on him, right? That's the thing. It's like, look at this guy's bike. You don't take care of his shit. Meanwhile, little do I know, future me realizes that man probably lived more than all those clowns that I was sitting around at that bullshit bar with or whatever combined, because that person was doing what I now, in this stage of my life, value more than anything.
Yeah.
He was doing it at that time. And that to me is it's perspective. And you only receive clarity when it comes through to you, right? It's always hazy until it's not. So when you have that clarity and it becomes clear, then it just is. It's like that aha moment or whatever the light bulb moment, whatever, right? And until I had it, I was that same chump. I was the same guy that was like, I'm just going to take my shit and it's going to always be flossing, but it's going to be at this show or this fucking, and it didn't matter. But to me, back to the whole point, right? Now I think the tone has changed, that we are now seeing people like the Cody B's of the world, right? Mm-hmm. The guys that do what we do, and we are going all across the country, doing all the things that all these guys want to do because we're making the effort to do it. And when you show up with a bike that's been across the country, whether it's day one spotless or not, but you set that right next to I just finished this build 4 hours before I trailered it down here. It's more of a respect than anything.
When I see Steve Chamberlain's bike, you know, he built it, he was ripping this year, and then he hit the deer or last year. I feel like part of me, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't want to paint over that shit. It's the same reason.
He's still got the deer hair in his fairing.
Yeah. I think he's still got that
he's keeping
no,
it
for sure. You got that crack fender up there.
When I dropped my last paint job in Sturgis, and Steve had to pick it up for me because we were on some rocks. They were big ones. We were adventure riding.
Steve, can you help me move my bike? Steve!
I definitely wouldn't have admitted that.
I do.
He said we were on some rock. They were big ones. That's why I couldn't pick it up.
I couldn't get a footing. It was a rut, but no. I dropped my bike, it scratched, and if anybody else in the world, they'd be like, yo, I got to pull it off and get painted. Well, it's the same thing. Like, every time we ride together, like, if you're in front, I'm getting rock chips. If I'm in front, somebody's getting rock chips. I got some gnarly ones on my bike now, but it's like, I don't care. Until it's to a point where it just looks like trash.
Right.
Then it is what it is. But right now, like, you know, I think you got a couple on the bags. I know you got a good one on the
Mine's
fairing.
getting there because generally speaking, it goes 1, 2, 3. So I'm going pop, 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 every fucking time, right? I'm done getting them. So I got by far the most. But my fucking odometer shows the same as you hoes. So what you gonna say?
Still there.
But that's the whole thing, man. It's that was one of the things when me and Brad were riding our big wheels across country and we show up to the shows. Like, we were proud of the fact that we had bug guts on them. You know, we were proud that we had rock chips in them.
And that's what sucks because them guys don't give two shits about that, you know.
The amount of bugs that were on those our bikes when we were
Your bikes are covered in bugs.
we were
Let's be real though. Think about
right,
that.
but remember
That
because
was
the
the
night
night
before.
before.
We had cleaned it. We had
that
we
was
just
clean.
cleaned our faces.
We had to
just
pull
cleaned our
over and
face.
clean our fucking visors.
Yeah,
Because it was so bad.
Yeah, I think your show
I
was
was leaving Salt Lake City to
Wendover.
It
Yeah.
was Salt Lake that was giving off the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And I think your fairing definitely shows it the worst. Yours and maybe Jacob's, but it was bad.
Yeah.
So to me though, you show up like that. I
I
think
mean, that's a little excessive.
but there's a difference. There's a difference
No, for sure.
versus started clean, went through some shit, ended up like that.
Yeah.
Versus the guy who's like, I ain't gonna clean my bike. Bikes aren't meant to be cleaned.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
mentality
that's
to
an
me
identity is
that's-
fucking gay.
is
That's
different.
different, yeah.
That
That's
mentality is different.
Yeah.
That means that's never been clean since the day it come off the wherever you got it, right? But to me, you know, Cody, this is Cody B. Cody B always, you know, he always right. So he guaranteed started clean.
Yeah.
And he got like that. And that was through nothing
I feel like
other
Cody
than,
stepped out the most in the picture to show the fit, show the drip he had going on.
Bro,
I said big drip.
big drip.
I had that Larry swag going on. I had a gray T-shirt on.
Oh, that Dixon looked like
Y'all look like
little
twins. What? That Dixon all right.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big drip is what Rob started getting called somehow.
Rob, what's his name?
Rob-
Dixon.
Rob
right?
Dixon. Robbie Dixon. Robbie.
Robbie.
Dixon.
Robbie.
He's-
Robbie.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Justin
I'll
did
tell
something
you
like
what's
that.
up.
Justin.
How do
Hang'em High
you
Justin.
get that
Some,
name?
I don't remember what
Justin
the story.
started
Justin
calling
Hang'em
him
High started
something,
calling him
yeah.
something like that,
Big drip.
and it was like their Daytona thing. Big drill. You know, Justin, he's mad country, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. You just said it, and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I didn't even think, but yeah.
Yeah, man. All this shit, man.
I
Like,
love that. I'll always love that.
yeah, it's a good.
You know where that started though from?
Mm-hmm.
Was a bike night,
Yeah.
right? That was a bike night.
Started
And
at a
then-
bike and now we're here.
But
Camp
not
out.
only that, it was a bike night
And a camp
and a
out.
camp out.
Yeah.
And
How
a V-Rod.
how simple is that? Yeah, you got that right. Smoke that ass.
3-on-3, brother. East Texas versus Dallas, right there.
It was.
We would have.
How
Jaden
wild.
and
That wasn't how it
Kyle
was supposed to
and
shake
Trent
out,
were
right?
supposed to be on that
No,
trip.
no.
Yeah, those
yeah.
three was supposed to be
Yep,
filled.
yep. What was Kyle? Why did he back out?
He wrecked.
He crashed.
Yeah,
That's
he had
right.
a broken leg.
That's right.
Jaden and
That's
Kyle crashed weeks before.
right. Trent broke down.
Trent-
first
Trent
day.
broke down on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Trent would have been in that photo with us. 100%.
Dang.
Where what? Y'all were still in Texas or New Mexico?
We were just outside of Amarillo,
Amarillo.
on the other side.
Like 4.5
Almost in New
hours
Mexico,
out.
yeah. Down there.
Yeah, and it was it was crazy because as soon as we figured out what it was, it was like
There's no doing it.
anytime you have a problem on the road when you're riding and you know like as soon as you find out it's something that can't be fixed
You're
quickly,
so pissed.
it's like things drop in your chest. It's like like so what happened was his bolts sheared off of his pulley, which he didn't
They
even
backed out.
backed
and
out, correct.
Yeah.
Hit the swing arm and bent.
Fucked it
One
all
of them
up.
was fucking 90 bent, and a couple of them sheared off, and it was.
there's like no fix to that. Like there's no like button it up real quick, put it to the next town,
No.
put a Band-Aid on it. It ain't like losing a goddamn
Put
axle
tape.
nut. You know what I mean? Like that shit is fucking over.
Yep.
You know?
It was.
And
Your pulley's fucked.
that's
Usually your wheel's fucked.
when I think about Trent in that situation, like that's the scariest thing for me on all our trips that we go on. Like
I don't want to be that guy.
I don't ever want that to happen because of the amount of fucking excitement that I have to go on a trip and to see, like I'm so fucking hyped to go on a trip. If my bike blew up before it, I'd buy a new one.
Flat out.
I kind of thought the same thing.
Flat
Like I'm not
Same
saying I have a.
I'm not saying I could do it. I'd figure it out.
I mean,
yeah.
I'd figure it out later.
I'd maybe
it
rent a
might
bike.
get repoed, but
Yeah. I
I'll
might be
definitely
selling
buy
that
it.
the day I get back.
Yeah, right. No, but I was gonna say, I kind of got a little, which I feel like when we take off, it's in the back of all of our heads at one point.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man, I hope my bike don't fuck up, you know. And it might be a new bike, it might be an old bike.
Yeah.
I always had that feeling at one point. I'm like, damn, I hope my fucking bike don't fuck up.
Yeah.
And then, so what I was saying is
Keeps
like,
you humble.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a lot, but like 27,000 miles right now. And I'm like, the 2-week trip in June.
That's good, man.
It's really in my fucking head right now. I'm like, what do I need to do before I fucking take off on this trip so my shit don't fuck up?
I was just going down that same rabbit hole yesterday with Justin about exactly that concern, right?
Yeah.
We're almost parallel with our mileage count
Right,
and everything,
right.
right? Everything that we've done. And but the difference is I've had some significant part issues where you not so much, right?
None.
So I got like 10 new fucking parts on my bike because they've failed on me, but I'm still having those same thoughts and concerns.
Yeah.
Hey, what about just like the things that you don't necessarily think about or maybe take it for granted? What about batteries or what about fluids or what about like
Wheel bearings.
dude, for sure.
I'm probably gonna
it's
change
after
mine
that
before we leave,
trip.
just
Every
in
single
case.
time I change tires, I'm pushing new bearings in there
Absolutely.
because the cost versus risk ratio,
it's
it
cheap.
doesn't make any sense.
All 4 wheel bearings like $50.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
fuck
So
it, change 'em.
to me, because of how poor of an experience failed wheel bearings, it happened on that trip with Matt. Forever in my life, because I had never thought about it before, but forever in my life now, whenever I'm changing tires, I will change wheel bearings simultaneously. It won't even be a thought
Absolutely.
because I can't be that guy. I don't want to be that guy,
Yeah.
right? That to me, that's just a precautionary thing. Dude. That wasn't even the wheel bearings. That was just crazy. Dude had a
That's
ride
why
of a
Matt's
time.
the best, man. That's why he's the best.
He fucking
But yeah, that's the problem. That's the scary thing, and that's when a lot of people there's all these different levels of bikers, right? Some people identify with like these older bikes and they travel on them, and that's awesome. But we put a lot of miles on our bikes every year. I know for a fact that I'm on cusp of doing 20 a year right now, right? You guys are at least doing 15, 10.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, you tend to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just because you have the ability to do so.
Yeah, and
it's
it
for
also
your
it goes
business,
with
too.
the business stuff too.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, it adds up quick, man. Like, like I still like owe a lot of money on my bike, and I got like 52,000 miles on that motherfucker right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fuck.
We had that conversation. I remember when you were carless for a minute, and you were like, "We got to have like the exact same mileage, right?" And I'm like, "We do, except for you have the around town shit,
Yeah.
right? Because I ride mine around town some, but quite frankly, the mileage that ends up getting chunked onto mine is when we disappear.
trips, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the around town stuff is just the appeal has faded. I've done, to be frank, I've done a lifetime of A, solo riding, and B, around town shit.
Yeah.
A lifetime of it. So when I want group super long distance rides, that's what I'm like, I'm gonna pull this hoe out and go, because that's what feeds me today. I'm not saying that's what it'll be forever, right? When I'm 65, I might be like, that bar's calling my name right now. Might be a different story, but
Well, that's
to
the
me,
thing.
it's-
Is like
it's different.
we don't really know. I mean, you've had some back scares last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like health. I mean, that's another thing that we have to play into part. Like I know me and James are knocking on 40's door,
We're behind now.
and so it's like these things. Like it sucks to. It's almost like you finally find the love of your life, and the bitch has cancer, right?
Good fucking.
bitch gets polio.
Kind of fucked up, but kind of true.
No, it's like
No,
we finally
for
find
real.
the thing that really fucking gives us this wholesome feeling about like the work that we put into life and like what we feel like we're getting out of it.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about your health in a much different way. Like, fuck, man, like I need my back to hold out. I need my body to. I want to be that 70-year-old dude that I know that we've talked about.
Smashes the Sturgis or
Smashes the
Coast
Sturgis and
or-
outdrinks me and my brother at a fucking at Days
Yeah,
Inn campground.
yeah.
You know, I want to be that guy.
Oh, you know who I ran into also in Daytona? That traveling tall dude that we met.
Oh, you
Did
met him
you?
again?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
we met him right there in that
Yep,
fucking
we
spot.
In that
Was he
picture.
nice?
Oh yeah, dude. He's
He
like,
seemed like a very nice guy.
yeah, and he was so my tail light fucked up, and one of the LED deals broke off. So I went to the Custom Dynamics booth to get it fixed or
yeah.
whatever, and he was there. I was like, dude, damn, my
man.
motherfucker looks familiar. I was like,
Yeah.
you the traveling tall dude? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, we met you in Salt Flats 19. He's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Do you
Like,
remember?
Yes, he
Hell
remembered.
yeah.
He's like, hell yeah, man.
With his uncles or something like that, right?
Him
He
and
was
his dad.
solo, but his dad was
His dad.
Yeah,
His dad was still. His dad had never been to California.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
wanted to ride the coast and shit. His dad was like 70, right?
yeah.
He was like 70 something, and
It just shows how small this shit is, though. Really,
yep,
it really
it was
does.
cool. It was cool.
We seen his ass in Utah and now Florida.
Yep.
And we're like, it ain't that big.
Not, yeah.
All we have to do is close those gaps with this fucking right wrist and be what we are. Like the connection that we have doesn't have to be down the street or across the town. It can be across the state. It can be across the country because of the motor that takes us there.
Think about it like this: like having a bike night or a local spot to go hang out with. That's an easy fix. That like solves the itch on a daily basis. But
Correct.
when you show up, you need goals as friends. You need goals in relationships. You need goals in life. And if you don't have goals, like if you and your wife ain't got goals, like where are you going? What are you doing? You're just riding the waves, right?
Buying time.
If you and your friends don't have goals, like where are we going to go with this? Like I know that we're talking about America, and I'm hoping that we all have the finances and the life together so that we can jump across the ocean soon
You got that
and
right.
do this shit in some real stuff,
Yeah,
you know, or some different shit. And I'm hoping that some of the connections I'm making doing work overseas is going to help facilitate that for us. But goals, man, set some fucking goals, you know? Like I want to do this with you. I want to do this with my homies. I want to see where you live, Davenport, Iowa. I want to see Davenport, Iowa have a fucking name for himself because we have a fucking solid group of people like Texas does.
Exactly.
You know, set some fucking goals for yourself and do them. You know, motorcycles they can give you everything you want in life if you put everything you need to put into it, right? If you want to have great friends, be a fucking great friend.
1,000%.
You know?
yeah. That goes a long ways too, man. Like you be inspired or be the inspirer.
Yeah.
Well, either way, man. Like you have
All my friends suck. They don't want to do anything, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for somebody else to do it.
Dude, how much of that is there? There's so much of that.
Yeah.
There's so much of that.
Woe
right?
is me. Oh, it must be nice to have friends. Like, be a fucking
Make
better
one.
dude, man.
Yo, for sure.
dude. And not to talk shit about any of my friends, but
He said, dude, Mike, check, dude.
100%. One of the reasons I came to the first camp out.
Yeah.
I'm looking for more friends that are into the fucking shit I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, 100%.
Big Wheel.
You got tired of
Big Wheel
circle
bagger back.
jerking with
That's you're looking for more of them.
I mean,
You take a wrong turn on your way to Daytona.
Here's the deal. So Cody found out about me because they went to Rock Rally and they saw my gold FXR, right? And I think Jacob was already into the Dyna shit.
Hard to miss.
Jacob's always had a dyno.
Yeah, so Jacob was into that shit, and then but at the same time when Cody was building his bike, because if I'd have known when you reached
coulda
out to
saved
me,
a lot of goddamn money.
you should have said you want to build a big wheel, motherfucker.
You didn't tell me those guys were queers.
How many pairs of Affliction jeans did you throw away?
Oh, he still got him. He still got him. Believe that.
Them
Honestly,
motherfuckers
He's
crisp.
waiting for a 2000s throwback party to wear
I
him
think I
again.
only had one pair.
You
I
about
was
to
in
make
high
some
school.
money on them. eBay calling his name.
Got that thick white stitch going on.
The cross on the butt.
all the buttons.
You would.
All of it.
You
Do
would.
those
I
holes
guarantee-
come pre-made?
But I think that's something too, like, especially, I mean, Cody's not far behind us in age, but like our generation has lived through some significant fashion changes, right? Like, let's be real.
I've quoted this on a couple of podcasts, I think, in California. But what you said to me last time we were hanging out at the shop, James said that me and his generation paved the way for kids now with swag, right? White kids that have swag now. We were called wiggers back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Sure were.
Well,
that is
Dude, we were.
that is like
It was a term
It blew my mind. I'm like,
in itself.
you're right.
you're right.
We were called that, and everybody's like, oh well. And I said that around certain groups, and they're like, oh well, I always like rock music. I'm like, I did too, but in the '90s, like, fashion became a thing. Like in the '80s, you can wear where the fuck you conjured up to put together, right?
As long
in the
as it had
'90s,
neon color in it.
yeah. In the '90s, think about it. Up until the '90s, there was no brands didn't mean shit for clothes, right? There was no. When I talk to my mom or people in the past, like they don't go like, in the '70s, we had to have this brand of clothing.
Yeah.
It was more of a style.
It was a style. As long as that style, you can get that shit from Walmart, Kmart, wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit. In the '90s, it became Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, Nautica, Nikes.
Reebok.
I'll take it all the way back to my elementary school days. Any kid that had that little tab on their fucking zipper, the jabots, I was like, yo,
Fucking Jabos.
yeah, well,
You
I'm
don't know
sorry,
what
you
Jabos
don't
are?
know.
A northern
Dude,
thing?
it was a rich
be a northern
kid thing.
Tommy Hilfiger was rich.
Early
kids to me.
90s. It was
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
owned any
It was
Tommy
Jabos was
before
like
Tommy-
a-
It was I don't know what it was. It was a high end jean, more expensive jean, right?
Yeah, Jabos
But
was
it
really
had
high end.
a tab just right across the dick, right? And it said Jabot. And it was something, like I said,
Look
only
at my
could-
dick.
but it was like Superflex. Anytime you have one, I'm like, let me go get my leads.
Do you remember
on.
the Tommy Hilfiger jeans they had? They had
Yeah.
the little like
Oh, yeah, the little
loop
loop.
Tommy.
The carpenter.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude, everybody had to
Painters.
have the loop.
It was Painters,
Or fucking.
and then it was Cargos.
They had the overalls too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I had some of those.
Did you?
Yes, sir. And some fat
The only
farms.
question,
Fat
Dude, the only question was like, how did you wear them though? Too, because it was the
Yeah,
same
one-
thing with
one hook,
backpacks.
one done,
Was
or
you
no?
one up? Was you two up?
Doing that
Were you
Lisa
one
left
strap
eye?
backpack guy? Were you
Lisa
two strap back?
left eye.
There was like all the shit that like the kids do now is all passive aggressive shit on the internet. They don't have the stones to say it to your fucking face. We grew up to these motherfuckers being like, "Hey, nice fucking jeans, queer," like to your face. So it was just different. But the best part about what I loved about when we grow up was when there was an issue like that or somebody had some shit, you just fight. Just fight. Get it over with.
it
You're
over,
done.
yeah.
Now these guys want to just be passive aggressive
you know-
on the internet and then shoot you.
And
It's
nobody-
dumb
yeah.
shit, right? Just you don't like me?
Nobody-
Let's fight.
After you fight,
when
then
it's
nobody
fight, it's
holds a grudge
done.
no more. It's
It's
just done.
so done when you're done fighting.
Yeah. You get your ass whooped or you whoop some ass.
What happened to fighting? Just fight.
Yeah, well,
FIFO.
Regular shit.
Fuck around, find out.
It's a different culture. It's a different
Yeah.
time. So in that way, I feel like we are blessed in the fact that we haven't been any one thing, right? We've been, it's almost like decade
yeah.
of things because I really have had a significant amount of experience in like blocks in this life. It's wild because there was a period of my life where I was into this, or I didn't have a choice and I'm into this, or I had a choice and I choose to be into this. And it's the same thing with motorcycling is I have all the choice now that I never had growing up.
Yeah.
Right. So I have finally worked myself into a position that I have the ability to choose, and I choose this.
Yeah.
There's no more important thing to me than this, and I choose it, and that's it. It's
I was
everything
gonna
for
say
me.
the same thing. Like when you're growing up, you go through all these phases of shit you like or you think you like to do, and then I can distinctly remember when I bought my first fucking Harley. I was like 25 or 6 or whatever, and I distinctly remember when I bought it. I was like, "This is it. Like this, I found it. I found it. This is it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is my hobby for the rest of my life."
Did you find it yourself?
Yeah.
Did you like have family you grew up into it with? I'm the same. Did you?
Yeah.
You had family that was into it, right?
I mean, I was like,
no, my family was into motorcycles, but my my mom's brother, he had a really bad wreck in like '86, and he's been brain damage. It took him 6 years to learn to walk. Yeah. He still lives at my grandmother's house with them. So motorcycles was a part of my mom's side of the family in the '80s, but then I was too young to remember this stuff. But in the '80s, my stepdad for quite a bit of my life was in bike clubs, but their relationship was so rocky that it was never like, it was like 6 months on, 6 months off. So it wasn't like bikes were
like
here
a
at the
major
shop.
part of your life.
Yeah. I mean, I remember going to field parties as a kid, like hanging out, with other kids running around vans and shit. Like literally, like everything that these chopper people want to do now. Yeah. I remember experiencing that in the '80s, right? Yeah. And then it went from bikes to the late '80s turned into like.
That's a good one.
It's my life, by the way. It's my life.
This is my life we're talking about.
But it went from like, I remember my stepdad trading a CD player for a CBR.
That's crazy.
A car CD player for a sport bike.
Commitment.
That's a bet.
No, because CD players back in the '80s were.
That shows how valuable CD players were.
Yeah.
It shows how unvaluable sport bikes are. let's be real.
Yeah. Well, after like Top Gun and a couple of those movies like that, and what was it? What was the vampire one that everybody likes? Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Yeah. So after those movies, like sport bikes started to take a fucking reign. You think about it, like motorcycling in general took a really good hit like a good bump in the late '80s to mid 2000s, right? From the Top Guns, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, Terminator, Harley Davidson Marble Man, even the small cameo in Pulp Fiction with the FXR. What was it, Stone Cold? What's his name? Brian Bosworth in that thing, whatever he did. And then you had Biker Boys.
Biker Boys,
right?
Yes, sir.
No, he's not.
Biker Boys. That was like early.
Biker Boys, Torque, baby. All the fucking biker build up shit. Like there was a lot of motorcycle culture, and we're kind of living off of the rest of that, right? But whenever I decided to get into bikes, I've talked about this many times, or at least on that podcast I did about myself, which I feel like I should pull down. It's so revealing.
It's
weird.
Good,
I don't think it's weird at all. I think that's a testament to you.
The thing about like motorcycles for me is like I just ended up getting a job at a bike shop that painted bikes, and I just remember being in a really shitty relationship with a chick that every time a bike rode by, she goes, "That's hot." And I'm like, "I'm right here,"
Okay. Hey,
she even said, I remember it. She's, like when you ride sport bikes, it's a natural thing when you're riding. The camera on me right now? Mm-hmm. So when you're riding, you just put your hand on your hip like that. And my chick at the time goes, "It's so hot when they put their hand on their hip." I'm like,
what the fuck?
Really?
So now it's ingrained in me. Like, we had a bad relationship, dude. It was like, she cheated, I cheated. Everybody's cheating in this bitch. You know what I mean?
You always ride.
I was
That's
21.
why you always ride with your hand on your hip now, huh?
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Remember that?
Look back at it.
Yeah, prop that back.
But no, like that, dude. I was 21 when I found bikes, so I was fortunate enough to. I was fortunate enough to find it early enough to have a struggle to hit my 30s and fall in love with traveling on bikes, find Harleys, and ultimately cultivate a lifestyle that I really like to live. Like I said, I think I said it earlier in this podcast. I've been doing this shit, but I haven't been doing it the way we do it until I met you guys.
Absolutely.
So
I
the
think
traveling has been
and
a part of my life.
Like I said, riding dirt bikes, all that shit, but what originally took me so long, I've always loved fucking Harleys. Like, just bikes in general, And what really took me, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not going to fucking buy something that I don't want. Mm-hmm. So that's what took me so long to actually buy a bike, because I was like, I'm not going to go out and buy some clapped out shit, Yeah. I'm going to wait till I have the money or the financial status to fucking go and buy what I want, Right. So
back in the early 2000s, like, you had to know people in Harleys to understand Harleys, right? Because the misconception I had in 2004 was Harleys are for rich people. I can't afford those. Yeah. So I didn't even look.
I mean, as a younger adult, that's what I thought too. It was like, fucking Harleys are expensive.
Meanwhile, like, we could have been buying FXRs for fucking $2,500. You know what I mean?
But I think that's the difference. It's almost like, it's almost like the rich kid thing, right? If they're born into it, they don't really realize that there's
knowledge
anything
they have,
other
yeah.
than it, right? They get a leg up immediately without even knowing it. If you're born into a lineage of Harley shit, it's part of your life. It has always been part of your life.
Yeah.
Therefore, you do have a leg up on other people. I think that there's something that I think is a strong characteristic is people that are like myself or like Cody, or people that were never born into it, right? And they chose to on their own well-being or whatever recognizance, they said, I want to get into bikes. Not because my family is, not because my homies are, none of that. Yeah. It speaks to me. And who knows? Maybe that will then, perpetuate it to another generation, or maybe a niece or nephew or a kid or whatever, you know what I mean? But somebody has to start it for every family. And
I'll be honest with you.
It kind of feels cool to be that
So
person.
I had my son last weekend, right? And so he was hanging out with Joe. And Joe's just fucking Joe, right? Mm-hmm. So we're down at Strokers, and my son's usually like, "Oh, can we go?" But he just enjoyed being around Joe. Joe has a swag to him, man.
And Joe's got a personality that brings out a laughter in
Yeah.
everybody, man. Like,
So-
if you hang around that dude for 5 minutes, I guarantee you're
We were in
laughing
the
about
car.
something.
We were talking about Joe roasting Jesse at the fucking campfire. Well, we were in the car driving down because we didn't want to ride. We were going to eat breakfast, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up driving down to Norma's, getting that good-ass breakfast. And then in the car, Riley usually plays his music, whatever he's into, and I'll try to listen to it. And usually it's pretty decent shit, but every once in a while he gets into some, like, Baby or whatever the fuck the dude's name is.
Little Baby.
Little baby?
I'm like, okay. So Joe puts in some fucking straight
Gangster
new
shit.
school E40 shit, like stuff that you got to pretty much live in fucking the Bay Area to hear, right?
You listen to E40.
Yeah, it wasn't no Sprinkle Me or some old good shit like that. It was like some new shit that's like, he still raps, right?
Who's that?
And then he turns it down a little bit and starts just rapping the entire time. And then my son, when I picked him up on Friday, he goes, yeah, I'm starting a band. And I'm like,
Damn, bro.
my son does. He goes, I'm starting a band. I'm like, nice. Like, what are you gonna do? He goes, I'm the singer. And I was like, well, sing, bro. Like, let me see.
Bars.
Let me see. Hear something. He goes, and my son's super shy and shit, so he doesn't say anything. I was like, well, are you doing a rap band or a fucking rock band? What are you thinking? He's like, oh, a little bit of everything. And I'm like, cool. And I go, Jesse sings, right? And he's like, Jesse sings? I was like, yeah, let me play it. And I played his music for him, and he was like, my uncle sings?
Wow, he didn't even
he didn't know, yeah.
Really?
And he was super stoked about that.
Hell
And
yeah.
then, hanging out with Joe, Joe sitting there rapping in the car. He's just like, hey. And next thing you know, we're down at fucking Strokers. I'm hanging out with him, trying to pay attention to him. And then Saxon and Joe has a punching bag competition, which Saxon ends up winning.
Attaboy.
Hey,
Everybody heard the podcast.
Joe
Joe talked shit. Saxon won. And, my son was just he seemed like he really enjoyed hanging out with, he's almost 11, and I feel like finally he's starting to get to the point where he realizes that I'm cool. Ish.
yeah.
But
Well, we took him
you
to
got
the
cool
or
friends.
not we, but
Yeah.
you took him to the Adams deal, and
Yeah.
Trying to, talk to him and play with him, and he's just iPad.
that's
Yeah,
what,
every-
phone, that's
dad's
what
phone,
it is. That's
every
what it is
time,
for
dude.
every person. Every person has their own click time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Aha
It's
moment,
how do you?
whatever. Everybody
how do you
does.
show a small kid that this is fucking cool?
Dude, every time he's around, I try to fuck with him.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I try
I'm
to
like,
talk to him.
agreed.
Like I'll mess with him, try to
Yeah.
fight with him and
Yeah.
shit.
Sound
or
like a bike to me.
yeah.
Somebody steal our bikes?
No, that's a truck.
Sax, that is not a truck.
That's true, yeah.
Okay.
Those diesel boys over there.
This ain't Indiana, bro.
Yeah, it could be. Could be real quick.
Would you leave your fob in your bike or what?
No.
Oh, mine's in there.
Hey,
And your helmet's on
Hey, I
there
got
too.
good insurance.
Yeah, take it. He needs a new bike for the new trip.
Your helmet's on there? Ooh.
Dude, that's a diesel. But no, so yeah, he's been kind of getting. I think he's starting to kind of dig this stuff more, and
I like that.
and I'm pretty excited, man. I hope that. I mean, I don't know what that means for him. I don't know where it goes, but
That's badass. Though.
I just hope that he finds. When I was his age, man, my dad was. He was still trying to figure himself out. You know what I'm saying? And not that I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to figure my shit out too. But
Sure.
like my dad never figured out who the fuck he was. I know who I am. I'm just trying to figure out the responsibility of who I am, if you will. And so my dad could never show me this shit. My dad was always chasing things, and I've found something. I'm not chasing my lifestyle anymore. I'm more trying to figure out how to sustain
Chasing
my
your
life.
dreams.
Yeah. And so with my son, like I'm hoping that like I can show him how amazing the world is, because it's kind of the same thing when Jesse was around. Like, man, like if you could just skip all the bullshit that I had to go through, you can start right now.
Let me tell you
where I
works.
figured out what is good. But the problem is a lot of people need to figure it out for themselves.
Right.
Yeah, it's
But-
a learning deal. But same, like if I could go back and tell my 18, 19, 21-year-old self, whatever, like what I know now, I would have skipped a lot of headache and a lot of bullshit and
That could be said about damn near everybody on the planet, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but then they always say this. This is where it turns into that fucking that weird conundrum where you're like, well, would you appreciate it if you didn't do all the other shit? Would you appreciate what you found if you just fucking got the cheat code?
Yeah, if you didn't
I
struggle to
personally feel like the answer is no.
Yeah.
I personally feel
It's
like
gotta be because you wouldn't
the
know.
way I've gone about my life and the way I have found it is the same concept as the fact that I didn't have a pot to piss in when I was born, and now I have $1 in my pocket. It's the same concept. I fully understand the value of that dollar that I've earned, just like I fully understand the value of this life and this bond in in what
like
we do.
What you were saying earlier about the Chads and Brads out there that they don't have to work for shit, so they don't appreciate shit.
Last time we pulled up to that Texas L project, we were talking to that old man that owned that place. I'm like, well, we're rich. See these nice bikes? Like, I like being that dude. We're not rich, but
we're
it's
not
just,
rich.
it feels good to just like own a little bit of
And he's like,
what we've done.
yeah, y'all are at my establishment, so he's like, I own this place.
My shit.
I own this whole
Y'all
shit.
ain't rich.
so-
Oh, you own this shithole?
Who's rich now, bitch?
I mean, I don't know. Are we supposed to be talking about a camp out though?
Yeah, what?
We are.
All right. So, what do you think is going to be the most different thing this year that we haven't dealt
Just
with yet?
the people.
I think I
Just
think
the people.
I think the biggest difference, the people has increased year over year every year.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the low hanging fruit. That's to be
But it's gonna
taken
be
for granted.
overwhelmingly.
The biggest difference is going to be the difference in the types of people there. I think.
Yes.
I think the fact that we're going to have all of us who do a bunch of long distance riding and are kind of the family unit or whatever, and then we're going to have not just two stunt guys, we're going to have 30 stunt guys.
Who's the?
We're
Sit down, Steve's coming
We're
down
going to
with
have
his
a
whole
significant
Oh, so he's got
difference in
entourage
that
and shit?
regard.
van. Yeah.
So like last year
I think
there
it-
was like a little impromptu little stunt deal in front of the thing. I think this year
It's gonna be
the police might be around. Some shit.
There ain't no police.
I know
out
there's no
there.
police there, but I'm saying
It's
that might get them
lawlessness,
there.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Adam should consider just pouring a slab somewhere on the campground.
So Adam's going to be at Adam Sandoval is going to actually be at that rally that's going on the same weekend in like
Yeah,
Well,
what's
he's
it
not
called?
gonna be there.
yeah.
Bike-
This will be
Bikes
the
and
first year
Brew.
he won't be there.
No, he was there last
the
year
one
too.
in Arkansas. I think he's
he-
going to do both.
Yeah, so the year before last year, the year before last, he was at that Arkansas rally too.
Right.
But
What's
then
it
he
called?
But he come back.
Did.
Like
Hot Springs?
Yeah.
No, no,
yes.
no,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Oh,
Isn't
the
that
Hot
it?
Springs one.
Hot Springs one.
Okay, it's just
Eureka
called
Springs.
Hot Spring. Oh, Eureka Springs. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Thumb Springs.
Because remember,
they got a lot of springs in Arkansas.
fucking what's his name? Steve Chamberlain came through one year and he stopped through
there.
that rally. So he's going to be there, but I'm willing to bet that once after Thursday night, I think
come back.
Thursday night's going to be like ridiculous amount of people show up.
It's gonna be
think Friday-
I think
Friday's
when
gonna be when
people-
everybody
I
rolls
also
in.
Hey,
agree
if
Friday.
you're rolling in Friday, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No,
with your
the
life?
only thing
Especially if
doing
you're
is
rolling in from far.
Yeah.
all you're gonna do is you're gonna miss Mimosa Monday or Mimosa morning on Friday morning because that's when it's happening.
I've been getting a lot of people asking me like, "Hey man, what time y'all doing the ride on Friday?" I was like, "That depends on Thursday."
Oh, full
100%.
It's always
Wait, I thought the ride was Saturday.
midday ish, and that depends on if you
Thought
are
the
drunk
ride's
or if
Saturday.
you're not drunk.
We usually ride Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, last year
Oh,
was
no,
the first
we
time
ride
that
a little bit
happened.
Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
last year we did.
Last year was the first time that it happened.
We did a big ride
right?
on Friday,
Correct.
and then
Last year was the bros
we-
racing each other on Friday.
Yeah, because
so
Saturday,
it's me, you, and Steve because Mark didn't show up last year. Yeah, and so me, you, and Steve were up front.
And that's why you guys did the little impromptu stunt show at one of the Vistas.
see,
No,
and see,
we
weren't
weren't
on
there.
that.
Oh, you weren't?
That
No,
was
that was
Steve's
the-
group Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh, that was Friday.
no.
No.
Really?
That was Steve's group
So
Saturday.
the group we did, we
we
did
rode to Mina to eat lunch at that little drive-in spot.
we did it twice, right?
Did that
Because
on
when we
Saturday.
did it, I remember going down that one road, and we like almost the way we usually come back from Mina.
Yeah.
we were going that way to it because
But
I
we-
just printed a picture out from.
But
one of the
Friday
stops.
we didn't go all the way to Mina.
You wanna
That's
know,
right. We did the center and then
did
back
the-
around.
Yeah.
You want to know what one of the other maybe biggest differences is going to be? We're not going to be able to have an entire campsite ride.
Oh yeah,
Just not
happen.
going to happen.
And-
Every
and
other
that's what I
year,
was
we
scared
talk
of.
about we're going on the ride.
And how
that's
many-
everybody that we're camping with. Let's go ride. When
Yeah,
there's
not gonna happen.
hundreds and hundreds, y'all go do your rides on your own time because this shit, I
know what
am not interested in being in a fucking 200 bike long
And
parade
see-
ride.
and see,
No
I'm-
fucking chance.
I'm kind of worried about that too.
and
Like,
then
I don't trust that many motherfuckers.
and once you get where you're going, I mean, how's everybody gonna fucking sit at?
Oh, you're not. Yeah.
know,
somewhere
Because
to
usually we
eat
go ride to
or-
eat.
What's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy is
Yeah.
getting that first gas station that everybody hits.
I'm beating everybody's ass.
No, but I guarantee you they're gonna fucking call the cops on us there because them stunt dudes are gonna be stunning in that parking
Yeah.
lot, doing burnouts.
Especially
Fucking,
Steve.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's gonna be plenty of people to take the fall for us this time.
yeah.
I will say that
We should probably. Do we have is there a decent amount of listeners listening? Or 8? Maybe we should ask like people. Like I don't like doing this on the podcast, but I would like to. If people want to ask questions, maybe we can answer
Campout.
Okay.
about the camp out, about any kind of preparations for it, whatever. That. So if
They'll
you guys
start-
are hearing that,
They'll start rolling in about 5 minutes. It's kind of
Delayed,
behind.
yeah.
Yeah.
we've never done anything like that. That's cool.
I don't know. There's not much to it, man. Just fucking show up.
it's the most simplest thing. Like the
is.
realistic, the like I was saying earlier in the podcast. What's amazing about it is how you plan for it. That's the
the
experience.
ride there. The ride there. Yeah.
Yeah, the ride. I mean, and trust me, like you can't make the ride. I get it. I ain't tripping. A lot of people will hit me up and say like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to trail." I'm like, look, man, I don't hate you. Like we
gonna
talk
talk
shit.
Yeah.
Talking shit does not mean I hate you. That means
Right.
that like it's just talking shit.
Yeah.
So come in, smile. Joel's the best dude. Joel, North Texas Joel,
Yeah.
Ape Hanger Joel.
Yeah.
Shows up to the fucking the Sturgis camp out we do,
He
and
came out to a couple bike nights.
Come-
and he went, yep.
fucking smash miles up there. Now he's
He's a cool guy.
a cool dude.
He's a really cool guy.
You know, but he rides a fucking wind cell going down the highway.
Doesn't matter though. That's the point. It's all he did was insert himself as a person. Bike didn't matter.
Not everybody has to like. It isn't about the bike, man. Like
No.
I talk a lot of shit about like the proper performance bagger etiquette, whatever you want to say. Etiquette. You gotta quit it. But realistically, at the end of the day, like what I really wanted that whole be a man thing to say is like, hey, you think you can fucking ride your ape hanger performance bagger? Show up to the Fast Life camp out and be a man.
He ain't gonna say all that.
Somebody's gonna
He
get
gonna
their
say all that.
ass waxed by Ape Hanger Bike this year. I guarantee.
I hope so.
I hope it's.
Somebody's
Changed
gonna
my
get-
mind.
You know
Somebody's
what?
gonna get
I hope
waxed.
it's a gold wing.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this though, because there might be all the people that are coming to the camp out might listen to this, but they probably won't listen to an announcement while we're there. The announcement that is the disclaimer that is the camp out is not the place to prove your fucking
anything, yeah.
manhood. It
Yeah.
is not. We have already had issues with people trying to do
Last
that.
2 years. Or
Not last
Do
year.
not
First
be
year?
that guy.
Not last year, fortunately, but
Dude,
before
No,
that.
Jaden went down last
I'm not
year.
trying to
yeah,
tell you how to
yeah.
live your
Jayden
life.
just sucks at riding.
But do not be that guy, because quite frankly,
Sorry, Dragon.
nobody wants that to happen to you, first of all, and nobody wants to have the ramifications of your incompetence
yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah.
Do not be the person
know
that
your fucking
decides
limits. Know your
I have to
limits.
prove
You're
I'm
from
better than so
California.
much.
I get it. You ride all these fucking canyons, but don't take the Talamina
Correct.
like a joke.
Ride in your limits.
It's a solid road.
And
It's
be a
got
dude-
some gnarly ass fucking
being a
turns.
dude that you realize it's not just about you. This event is 1,000% about the collective.
And especially don't take nobody
And the
else
biggest
out.
thing
Fuck.
about it is making sure that we are all having a good time, all safe, everybody's good.
Yep.
If you have to get fucking airlifted out because you're acting a fool, that affects everybody else, not just you.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Yeah, the fast group is just kind of like a handful of people.
Like I said, I don't even know if that's going to be a thing anymore
can't
because
buy your way into the
there's
festival.
going to be too
It'll
many
always
people.
be a
Yeah, you
thing.
can't yet. I know it's going to always be a thing. I'm just saying, know what your fucking limits are
Yes.
and ride in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
End of my deal.
Stay in your lane.
How you ride by yourself on those back roads or whatever, just
This one time I scraped my bag and I fucking like passed the cop because I'm fucking my ape hanger performance bagger is the best. The fuck out of here with that shit.
You know what I mean, though.
Scraping floorboards on my lowered bagger.
I won't want to say this because I don't want any biker to go down, but if any of them do go down, I hope it's a ape hanger performance bagger.
That's why I see more content.
fucked
You're
up.
such a bastard.
You see? You see?
See, it's about the bars, brother.
Chamberlain says he's gonna ride slow this year.
All right, bet.
Doubt it.
You can be back there with my old lady and me.
Getting that YouTube content.
That's right.
Hey guys, welcome to S Chamberlain 5150.
Link in above.
This video is nothing but Frans in front of me and Brittany's ass hanging out in his face.
I think I saw her fucking spokes.
Showing them spokes.
I didn't know that motherfucker had 3 wheels.
That's the thing, though. Okay, Steve's a good example, right? Steve and Mark, they know exactly what they're capable of, and they also were very, very well in tune with their machines.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's not everybody, right? That is the that is the I'm not coming up with it. That's not everybody.
Well, don't come to the camp out and just because somebody's pushing it harder than you are, then don't try to fucking be a man at that point and keep up with them if you know it's over your riding ability or if you haven't, like, everybody goes riding around their roads local to their house or whatever. And you got those corners that you try to push and see how far you can take it. Like, that's the time to test it, not at the fucking camp out when there's 100 people in line fucking pushing.
Just be regular. Don't be fucking extra. You don't need to be extra.
You don't
You know
have-
what? Perfect example is this. We say come to the camp out and come correct, kind of come as yourself and see what you present to the group and see how you mix in, right? Don't be the guy. We have an example that is the guy coming in so hot that it is extra as fuck, and because of that reason, nobody wants to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about cheat events?
Don't be the person that because you're coming in, not who you actually are, but you're trying to present yourself in a manner to seem as though you quote unquote fit. Don't be that person, right? Just the same concept as riding. Don't ride who you're not. Don't ride how you are not. Ride who you are and how you are. Just be regular. Don't be extra.
It is kind of hard, though, being behind the heavy hitters, you see all them pulling away from you, and you have the mind, like, you're just the type of person that's competitive and stuff.
Well, yeah,
and,
you're thinking, like, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
you know, but
not even that. You don't want to lose.
yeah,
And
I get it, but like,
Fair enough. Okay, I can
safety's
appreciate
number one priority.
competitiveness.
You don't want to fucking kill yourself.
Compete with them somewhere else, because this shit ain't your fucking track. This is not your competition ground.
go to
And
track
if you're truly
There you
that,
go.
you know, I would say, like, if you're truly that insecure with that you don't measure up because you didn't keep up with whoever, because who's to say who's the heavy hitters or not? It doesn't matter, right? If you are not that comfortable with yourself to say, I didn't ride as fast as X, you need to check yourself in the mirror once before you deal with that shit on the road, because the shit on the road is real life. The shit in your head, you need to deal with. You know what I'm saying? We all have masculinity
think about it
items.
like this.
We all have, you want to push yourself, but there is a time and a place, and that
maybe it wasn't the best idea for me to talk about Steve and how he came in hot and left hot at the first camp out.
official one. Yeah.
Official first camp out. And I think that maybe a lot of other people want to live up to that fucking hype that I put through this. I mean, he did it, but I hyped it up on the podcast, right? Yeah. So I don't want people to feel like they have to be that. Like, you can like, think about how many solid dudes have just come to the camp out. Craig didn't fucking do anything crazy. He just showed up and partied.
Right.
You know?
It's a fair analogy, but there's a significant difference between that was the first one 3 years ago, and
like
now we're on to
people.
4. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he came in hot, and there were 50 dudes there, right? Chicks, all of them. Everybody all in. 50 people. Not going to be many issues when there's that many. When you got 500 people on the same road and around the same campfire and all that, if you're coming in that way, you're going to be the person that unfortunately causes issues for all of those people. And I don't want to see it happen.
Yeah, that's I already told myself, like, I know I can ride, but I'm not even going to attempt to keep up with the front of the pack if it's not that easy. You know, I'm on a fucking Sportster. I can't fucking do 140 down a straightaway or whatever.
Don't use that vocabulary. I can't.
I literally can't. It doesn't go that fast.
I've pinned it.
I can't.
Show a mean face.
I can do 130 topped out going straight. I ain't about to do a corner topped out on my bike. That I don't know can handle it.
I'm just saying,
you're not going to top out on Talamina.
There's so much more value in people remaining safe throughout, having a good time, and going home and telling the lore that was the camp out and coming back and doing it again. There is so much more value in that than trying to prove something in a moment that impacts the masses.
Yeah.
That is a mistake, and that is a poor judgment mistake if that's what
Did we get any more questions?
Fuck no, just
Steve was just acting a clown. Steve said he
queers
fit to ride
asking
slow.
asking if we can help them pitch their tents.
Get you.
I got to give him that.
I love it, though. I love it because, quite frankly, this is as grassroots as it gets.
Yep. And we're trying to keep it as grassroots as possible as it scales.
And it's growing.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not necessarily the event that is growing. It is the amount of people that are seeing the value in doing exactly what we do.
Yeah.
They want to ride their bike. They want to travel. They want to be with people that are like-minded, and they want to sleep in the fucking dirt. Simple as that.
Mayfield said, should someone tell Chucks to stock up on booze?
Who?
What? Chuck's Classic Cycle?
Yeah.
Cycle service.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it'd be cool if we
haven't
actually
been there.
reached out to Chucks and said, hey, maybe one day we do a fucking mass fucking ride-in to him
Like
and
Friday?
say, like, it might not be a bad idea.
He's came in clutch,
Dude,
with
he
tires
came
and
in
shit.
big
I
clutch.
think he helped Jones that one year. I think. He got
I
a
feel like
or
I really think we
ever
should
broke
reach
down.
out to him and say, like, hey, dude, we're mobbing in Friday midday.
I'd be down.
Have the food ready.
town is he in?
He's-
the next town starts with a C.
I think he's like 30 miles away, right?
Yeah, it's the first gas stop town.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it is in that town.
Was
Okay.
Clayton?
Clayton.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
Clayton.
Clayton.
No, he literally is the bike service out there.
Yeah, he is.
He's everything. And apparently, like,
trailers
I
and
personally
shit.
haven't had him, thank God. But, like, yeah, the people that he's been pulled up, like, I think Jones said he pulled up and he was like, no shirt, no shoes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, brother, come on, get in the truck. Let's go. Just took him back and they just had a good time.
one of them there tires.
We probably should ride around that lake this time. I haven't done the lake ride yet. I've only done our rip to Talahina across to the to Mena, Arkansas.
The cut through in the middle is good too.
I got this vision for this magazine shoot for Kyle's bike. I like how I talk all the shit about Indians, but I'm going to shoot an Indian for a magazine.
He's doing it right though. Let's be real. He's doing it right,
is.
and from what I've heard, I can't wait to meet the dude. He's just a real ass dude, flat out.
You ain't met him at all?
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's good.
Him or Big. Like, you met him fucking like last year.
No, he
met him like you met him.
I met him at Rebels Den
Oh, you met at
anniversary
Rebels Den,
party.
that's
Yeah,
right,
so
The
last
first time.
fall.
Yeah,
And then
bitch.
you met Big Trouble 4 fucking months ago.
And we're like,
I'm just
cool.
saying. So
We're like way
I want to
cooler
meet these
than you.
guys too. It's not like, oh, that's my homie from like way back.
Oh, dude.
You can count the
yeah.
days, bruh. Anyway,
It hurt my feelings.
You don't say that.
He'll say that.
Anybody? More dick pics?
what y'all got to talk about?
Fucking cold.
Forget
Chris.
what people on the internet got to talk about.
Huh?
Cold Chris said, "Should I jump out of my tent in leopard tights and hit the rev limiter?"
You know what?
No,
That's going to happen
Absolutely
regardless.
not. No,
Man.
cheetah pants is not
This
allowed
ain't
this
Sturgis.
year. They're kicking him out.
Rev limiters are off after there's a time of the night that you gotta shut your bike down.
That
Put the
never
keys in the
happens.
basket.
That never happens.
I don't
Whatever.
know. I don't know if I was.
No, we have not had an issue with people rev limiter their bike in the middle of the night. We have not.
I feel like we it's not an issue. It just happens.
No.
It's like it's to be expected.
Fucking Jace was taking a nap in his hammock, and I fucking pulled the.
That was
Yeah, yeah.
That was at noon, bro. Jason's always asleep in the middle of the day.
Dude,
Yeah, you're going to step your game up this year?
I don't need to. I got a team.
I swear, every time I look around,
I
where's
got a
Jace?
team.
He's a
That
coach.
motherfucker's
Tag
his
me in,
tent.
coach.
I'm not coming here to be the one man team. I'm coming out here being the fucking crew. I got a crew of dudes to represent
All right, fair
me.
enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
It's hard, man.
Jace
'cause-
just walked around last year taking a lot of pictures.
Dude, and you know what? Now this whole magazine thing that's coming out, they want to feature the Campout in the
That'd be
magazine.
cool.
So
That'd be cool.
I'm hoping Zach's probably going to bring his camera out too, Lot Lizard.
Have you
And
talked
he's been
about
doing
it?
some badass.
I'm sure Cody Melton will be there.
Cody Melton will be there.
Have you talked about it? Like,
The magazine?
yeah, is it
Not
like
really,
out
because
there?
it's. I
You
mean,
about to put it out there?
I could put it out there in a little bit,
I
but
thought you were about to keep it under wraps.
it is kind of under wraps. But it'll be kind of.
Hey.
It's gonna start to kind of. Show. Can you get some more of these while you're down there? Me too.
We got business to handle. Y'all better not.
But we can go have
we
lunch
still
after
got
this
a
and
suit
sober up
after
a little
this
bit.
Shut up, bitch.
But no, the magazine. So I'll say this for everybody that's listening to this right now. There's a magazine coming out that a very close friend of mine is curating. It's going to be about performance bikes. It's going to be print, and the one thing I will say is support it. Support them by following when they go live with the Instagram. Support it by buying the magazine. If you want to be able to see bad motherfuckers like Insta Heaven Kyle or Monty Roach or Hoffman or all these, you
Hoffman.
name it, across the board, all these people that are building performance motorcycles, not just baggers, FXRs, Joe Kidd, Boosted Brad, Cody Childress, all these people across the board. If you want to see these dudes' if you want to have a tangible item in your hand that has these badass bikes in it, when this magazine drops, support it, right? So it can sustain itself, so it can be a thing, so that one day you can be in it, so one day your event could be in it. So, like, in Europe and Japan and all the rest of the world, magazines are still big. It's just America that they're not big.
Yeah, and I think, quite frankly, that is a sign of the times, but I think it's a sign of the times that will fade in a sense. I think it's already happening, quite frankly. If everything in your life that you've captured is digital,
Yeah.
and you no longer have anything that you can tactily put your hands on, it's gonna flip. It's gonna flip. So if what we're doing, if the camp out that we are sitting here talking about is a profile piece in the first fucking magazine drop, and it is out there, and all of you people who we are speaking to come, you will be a part of this, and you will be a part of who essentially needs to support and put your hands on these pages, because the pages are not going to be a fucking click on your internet. It's going to be in your hands, something you can put in your fucking I was gonna say bookshelf or wherever the fuck you want, but I don't know.
Put on your wall.
Put it, yeah, exactly. That's what we're gonna do,
There's
right? We're gonna
so
put
much,
it into a fucking wall.
It's
or an
so
end
much
table
different
or,
to see something that you
Yeah.
like. Those I printed out 18 photos that I and my homie Mason has taken photos over the last couple of years, and there's a million more I want to print. But pulling those photos, even if they were camera phone photos, right, and seeing them, like fuck, like I remember I printed the picture of me and you sitting outside the hotel room drinking we had just showed up to
after I got fucking
North
arrested.
yeah, almost arrested. Yeah.
Awesome.
Doing your acrobatics.
Forever.
That moment to me, like that photo, man, it wasn't a big fancy camera, it wasn't a photo shoot, it was just like a psh, and I was like,
It's just right.
that is exactly what we were doing.
Yeah.
We were just enjoying the ride today.
Sitting outside the hotel getting
That's
fucked
good shit.
up.
There was nothing else to do in that town, so we
Yeah.
fucking made the hotel the fucking party spot.
Yeah. That's
good
like we
shit.
do. And you know, when I'm printing these pictures out, I'm like, when you feel it in your hand, it's so much different than when you feel it in your phone.
It is.
And I think more people are getting hip to the game with the photography shit after we've been talking about it. And it's growing, it's becoming more prevalent in everybody's eyes. But man, like that print, that feeling, like, oh man, this is fucking dope. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to get
I agree.
shop and have goddamn
It's gotta
just
be
photos.
both. It's gotta be all of it.
everywhere,
And
man.
that's the thing. Like we all have the same concept and style and the cues
Up until
that
last
we're
year, though, how many times did we do the camp out and say we never took photos?
everyone.
Everyone until last year, and Zach did, I did, Melton did. We busted our ass taking photos, and we still didn't capture everything that needed to be captured. Cody got a lot of good shit though. Cody was a
Agreed.
part of the right groups, so he got a
Cody-
lot of the good. Like
Cody Melton probably had the best
Yeah.
quality overall.
Yeah.
You had some real bangers, but
I was
it
still
was
learning.
It was campsite
Yeah.
stuff,
It was-
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you had
Cody
more
actually
people
did
around
on-bike
camp.
stuff and campsite.
Right.
Just overall, the quality was really good, and that it's crazy because like we go back to even the preliminary thing, right? We got like 6 total photos, like between the whole lot of us, and those things are like gold to us
Yeah.
today. Like the way when we put them up for all of us to see, it wasn't like forever ago, but think about what it'll be like, because this is what I think about.
Yeah.
We're 4 years in right now, right, with our group. Fast forward 10 years and 20 and 30. Who knows what it's going to be? But you'll always be able to go back to that. Like, it ain't no different than when, like, you got your high school homies that you had, like, a keystone moment for you guys, right? And you got a snap of it. Prom or whatever the fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Keystone, like Keystone beer.
No. but you know what I'm saying? Like, something that meant a lot to everyone in the photo. And you reach back to it 10 years, 20 years later, and you're like, oh, that's cold as fuck. You know, that's what it is. That's what it is. There's nothing better than that. And those things, quite frankly, because whatever it is, you changed your phone or you got a new carrier or whatever.
You
they
lost all
just
your photos.
Disappear.
Yep, gone.
They just disappear because there's nothing tangible any longer.
Well, not anymore with the cloud and shit. I mean, you can always.
That's only if you pay that money too, though.
The
You
cloud.
gotta, you gotta pay for the
that
cloud.
They're fucking
That's what I'm
Android
saying.
users.
It
Yeah,
happens.
fuck them out.
Oh yeah,
It
y'all got them
happens.
Android.
These motherfuckers got SIM cards and memory cards over here.
That's right.
Damn
Y'all got
You're
y'all
welcome.
got external batteries.
You're welcome. I'm sorry you guys are in a cult. Jesus Christ. We have freedom of choice,
Hey,
faggot.
no, hey, I'm both sides. I like Android because you can all the music and shit.
I hate it.
You can do with it.
Go
Hey,
on.
y'all want to
Keep
do a
on
clubhouse chat later? Oh,
hating.
that's right.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not trying to start another social
Not
media
welcome.
thing that nobody cares
Not welcome.
about.
Pull out a
Wasn't there
fucking
another
Apple.
thing that like started like a year ago that is like everybody sign up? Just fucking shit itself.
Clubhouse is good though.
I
Clubhouse
believe
is
it,
fun.
but it's the same concept.
Why
It's
can't
all
you
the
just-
stuff that we're already doing.
It's just a
Why are
new
we
app.
trying to
Why
recreate
couldn't
the
you
wheel?
do it over fucking any other app that's out
You
there?
actually Instagram's catching on, and they're actually making adjustments to their shit, so you can do it the same way.
Instagram is.
You could just come on the Fast Life
Elite.
podcast and you'd be straight.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What Clubhouse essentially is real time podcasting with individuals that have something to say and people listen in. So there is something good there. I mean, I think that, I thought about doing a weekly show on there where we just talk about what's going on with the podcast. it's a good platform. It really is, but it's kind of it's super right in the now, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just another one. But it's time consuming. Like you think being on Instagram is time consuming? I've done Clubhouse chats where I've been on there for 6 hours.
God, damn.
Okay, I could see the value in it, right? But here's my personal thought on it. There are ample digital platforms for you to make your voice heard or put your opinion out or hear someone or what. Ample, right? So now I think the turn needs to be use all of those tools that we already have, and instead of continuing to create new modes of the exact same stuff that we have, we need to create more in-person touch, tangible shit. There needs to be a there needs to be you have digital and you have in-person shit. You need to shrink that gap, not go further away and have more digital shit.
This is what I will say, and I think I said it. I touched on it at the beginning of the podcast, right, about growing outside of your circle and your current friends groups. There are dudes out there from maybe parts of the country that doesn't get their fair shake in life, right? Mm-hmm. That are the baddest motherfuckers, that are talented, that are visionaries, that are a lot of different people. But because of where they're from and the fact that they don't get out of it, they never get a chance to explore who they are, right? Coming to the Campout, or not even ours, but just going to different things. Maybe you go to Steve's or Craig's, or you come to when we do our Sturgis little mini camp out at the Days Inn campground. You start to meet more people, and you're like, man, did you talk to that one dude? I mean, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Great example.
Ben's a great example.
Yeah.
Ben is a fucking, like, Ben's getting fucked up with us at a bar one night, and the next night he's talking to a president of Nicaragua.
That's the man right there.
Yeah,
bro.
like
Right?
this dude.
Fucking love that dude.
Like,
I love stuff like that.
I'm like,
That's
are
what
you
I'm saying.
allowed to talk to me?
That's my dad.
But that's the thing. So
What are the pores doing over there?
I've told y'all how much I fuck with that documentary, Why We Ride.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different key points on that documentary that I really subscribe to. But one of them is that the motorcycle is kind of the conduit that makes you
felt good.
Makes you anonymous in a sense. It brings you to wherever, whomever, to the point that you can have exactly that. You can have a doctor speaking to a homeless person, or you know what I'm saying? You can have a president speaking to a Best Buy employee. Yeah. It no longer matters because of the conduit that is the motorcycle. Yeah. And it's so special and also so rare that's why the value is where it is, because it's just it's one of those things that you cannot replace. And until you feel it for yourself, it's always just going to be an outlier thing. It's always like we all know that historically, since kind of Harley came into the world, was it's had a negative connotation with it, right? Mm-hmm. It's been, man, these are the gangs, these are the hoods, these are the guys that are the outcasts of regular quote unquote society. Yeah. And we, being us and all the people that we fuck with, I think in a lot of ways are trying to change that perspective. I'm not saying
we're trying. I think we are.
No, we are exactly
simply by proxy.
It's not like our goal. It is just genuinely happening.
Yeah,
and I think that that's a great thing, because that's where you can ultimately end up with a gutter boy and a fucking president, right? Yeah. You can end up with whomever, because ultimately it doesn't fucking matter. When you're off the road and you're around the campfire, you're the same guy. I don't care where you go check in at work on Monday. It doesn't matter to me, homie. But right now, let's meet the people that we are.
And that shit's international.
It is.
Like you go anywhere and you see a dude riding a bike, you're gonna have a connection with that motherfucker. You can go up and strike up a conversation with him, you know.
I love it. I do. I think that it's the most valuable thing that I've ever experienced in my life, because there's no limits to it.
Yeah.
There's no limits to it. When I was in athletics, there was a limit, because you only fucked with athletes. There was kind of like a boys club within it, and it raised all of you up to a certain level, but there was a stopping point, because it was either athlete or non-athlete. Now, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you are, and you can still be a part of this because it's that beautiful. It's that inviting. It's that inclusive that it does not matter where you come from or where you want to go in life, but your presence at this moment and what you're trying to do with us matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You go from not mattering to mattering.
Good point.
And that's an important thing.
That's the thing about. I think we were drunkenly talking about this at bike night last week. We were trying to we talked about a lot about people trying to buy into this, right? They want to, you gotta understand
There's
that
always going to be that.
It don't work.
but we need people to do that because that's what keeps the industry alive. And sometimes people only have money to offer. They like what we do and they want what we have.
Yeah.
And so they offer the money to kind of get it. And then it's up to, in my opinion, us to sway them towards living this as well and not just being a fan of it.
No, but just buying it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And
You can check those people real quick.
you can.
Oh, yeah.
And
You know
but at
the
the same
fakes
time,
and
it's
the-
like I feel like we can't be so harsh on everybody that's finding this because they're finding it at their own pace, right? And everybody's at a different level of figuring out where they're at with bikes, with themselves, than we are. And so it's like we have to find a nice, happy medium of letting people feel. I'm always like, I'm a bully with that shit. Like, I'm like, look, this is what we're doing. If like you got a gender reveal, fuck off. I don't care about you anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know, right?
You don't listen to it no how. So.
Yeah, so fuck them. So it's one of those deals. Like, I think I was at Jaden's house one night for were you there that night?
Talking about the birthdays?
For medieval
Medieval time?
Was it the night that I went off on one of his friends?
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Tara Lynn's friends?
You're an asshole.
He was this guy, no, here, I didn't go off on him. What happened
I think
was,
that was medieval times.
so what happened was,
I seen an Instagram.
one of Tara Lynn, Jaden's, Dragon's old lady's friends from the apartment they live in, really nice guy, really, really cool dude. But he was like, I really want to get into bikes, And I'm like, oh yeah, man, you should do this. You should do this. He goes, I don't know if I have enough time. He's like, well, what else do you do with your time? He goes, well, I'm in a sailboat club. I'm like, you're in Dallas.
You say sailboats?
Sailboats?
Yeah.
Like, does he
Wait,
sell
where's
boats
he
or
now?
does he?
He definitely
sell
doesn't.
them with a sheet and shit. Like,
He sells boats. He sells boats, bro. Like sells. Like I fucking,
Where?
He doesn't even
Fucking
own
Lake
one.
Louisville?
But he
Lake
has
Louisville?
he
Yeah,
has
no.
he's in a group of dudes that do that, and that's his boys. And
Wow.
I'm like, that's cool, but if you're looking at us for life,
Yeah.
right?
obviously, you're not enjoying. What
You're not
doing.
that. Then that's. I think that what you're looking for in life should precedent what you already have. If what you already have is not making you happy and solidifying every moment of your life where you want to do this, then maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should find something else that does.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
No,
obviously
that's-
looking for something else.
So
that's
I was
super
like, I
valid.
told him straight. I was like, look, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, we can never be friends. I was like, because the one moment that I say, hey, dude, we're going to ride and do this, and you say you're going to sell boats, I'm going to be like, I'm deleting you out of my fucking
Yeah,
contacts.
bro.
You're such a
I mean, there's a difference if you're doing that for a living, but you also have a motorcycle and you live that kind of life too. But
does.
if
I don't
you're-
want to be a fucking option for people. I don't want my life to be an option for people.
Correct.
Like, you either in this shit or you're not. And if you're not, if you want to dabble in it, cool. I understand. Do your thing. But you're not going to be.
But don't come at
You're
me.
not going to be us.
Don't come at me with your bullshit excuses
Yeah.
either. Like, don't tell me why you can't.
Oh
do
man,
that. No,
I so
motherfucker,
want to
you
be at the
can.
camp out this year, but work. I'm like,
Okay, you knew
But
about it
it's
for a
fucking
fucking year.
4 months away, and you can't.
Like,
take
meanwhile, this motherfucker's at Lake Havasu doing fucking like titty shots and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, fun times. I would like to do titty shots as well, but you chose those over doing man shots of man shit tits. You know,
take a
Say at
dread
the
shot off Tony's
There's not going
dreads.
to be
or
any
something.
titties. It's going to be like man butthole or some shit.
I'm putting titties on the t-shirt, hoping to inspire women to pull their tits
Oh,
out.
please
Doubt
put
it.
some titties on there.
Doubt it. because the only titties that end up there is our fucking old ladies. So
I think
Not
that
this year.
There's
I
gonna be
think
now this
some-
year there's gonna be some stranger on there.
Strange.
Dude, them bitches gonna be getting
you can't
railed
call them
out.
strange. They are women.
I'm sorry. Just saying.
They're
Okay,
not gonna
There's
get
gonna be
raped.
some
if
nice
no, they're
ladies
not.
there.
Put it this way: if they choose to, they will have a platter of dick
Shoot.
in front of them.
Platter.
You know what I mean? You
platter
know,
of
a
dick.
fucking platter of dick, all laid
That's
lined
probably why
out.
they don't dump
Yeah.
them out.
yeah.
No,
so
but
women
that's
are
what I'm
not going to
saying.
be at the camp.
It depends on who they're trying to be. You know?
Should
what
we
I mean?
make them sign a consent form as they fucking sign their fucking their campsite? Like, look, you may get raped.
Should we call it the dick platter consent?
I mean, we can do like Project X, like when they put the signs by the pool. You can't get in unless you're topless or naked or whatever.
There you go. Can't come
But-
around the campfire
yeah.
unless you're topless.
Yeah.
It's not even about that, but at the same
Nip's
time, I
gotta
do
be
feel
hard.
like I do feel like we're crossing into that a little bit. Where for the longest we've been running this stuff, and it's just been the boys, right? It's just
Yeah.
been the boys, and then our old ladies, and we've been doing what we've been doing. Suddenly, it's almost like senior year, and like some randos are starting to come through, and it's like, wait, where y'all come from? Like they're coming around from like chopper shit or whatever.
Right.
It's-
FXR Mike said it best. Go look. I ain't trying to cheat on my wife, but I'll look at some 18-year-old pussy.
I mean, let's be real. Like it's all in good fun because it ain't no different.
Wait, he didn't
than,
say that.
It ain't no different than what you can put it up on the
He
fucking
don't say
internet every goddamn day. You know what I mean? It ain't shit. I said this to my old lady the same way. Like I don't care about no goddamn titties that come out. It's just good fun.
No, I
Same
do.
way that if
I
you
want to look at them.
no, but I'm saying it's the same way that if you go and see some fucking dick jiggling, it don't fucking matter because like
that's kind of gross.
it's so temporary.
Not allowed.
It's so temporary.
Just playing.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all get what I'm saying.
no,
though.
I'm serious.
So it's just good fun.
Yeah, it
if
is.
it's like,
It is.
look at my titties or some bullshit, you know what I mean? Like that's a little extra.
Hey,
but if it
If a
just
fat girl pulls her tits out, I'm looking at those too.
happenstance, yeah,
I look
exactly.
at every titty. I'm like a woman in a shoe store. I want to see every pair of them motherfuckers.
I mean, even if it's disgusting, I mean, sometimes you look at some
You're
titties,
like,
you're like, ooh,
oh,
Damn, is this baloney? Oh, okay.
got those fader nipples.
I love
Nipple
that.
fade in the skin.
I love that about like a lot of the old ladies that we got too. Is they're like they get it, like they understand that is part of what they're signed up for too, right? That they live this, and they also understand that random shit can happen sometimes,
they?
and they also they
we need to
you
go
know
down
what,
that
though?
road?
That's also part of the allure, I think, for the overall lifestyle, quote unquote, that this is, right? There's no other way to describe it than this is more or less kind of a lawless freestyle lifestyle, outlaw-ish, right?
Chopper shit.
It's weird because
Exactly.
like I feel like my wife has a problem with it, but then I have pictures of her with stickers of Fast Life Garage across her nipples at Sturgis, and she was having a time of her life.
Exactly.
I feel like as long as all of our women get to be the chicks with their tits out, even if it has pasties on it,
straight.
they're happy.
So lace them up with some.
They just don't want to
Hey,
be the one chicks that didn't pull their titties out.
You know what? I'll say this. What y'all got to key me in on? What the deal with the Daytona fucking stickers? With everybody goddamn had stickers in Daytona.
that's, Big
somehow.
Trouble.
That's a bit. Everybody
Is that right?
So Big Trouble's I guess second old lady.
Is he a sticker maker?
She makes these cool little designs. She has some for Britta too.
Yeah,
That are down there.
they're cool.
So
They're cool.
tell them to show up. I don't know who you are, Big Trouble, but I'm gonna say you right now. Show up with some big fucking FLC4 stickers and put them on all of our old ladies, and then there will be no hurt feelings.
I agree. I'm fine with that.
Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. You got better luck seeing some strange titty than any of our old ladies. I feel like
I don't know. My girl seems to dump her pussy out every third chance she gets, so
every third.
it don't really matter.
They have a sticker for that?
Make sure it's a really big FLC4, Trouble.
But Tara Lynn in her fucking video with the MeWe.
MeWe.
What was it called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the?
it's literally something
It was
that
something
women can wear where they
Correct.
can just
It's a
stand
funnel
up.
they
And
put
piss.
over
It's a
their
pee
puss
funnel,
to
so
pee.
they don't have to put their ass on the public toilet. That's all it is.
No, I think it's because they can pee outside.
Yeah,
Well,
so they can
same
just
concept.
piss wherever.
Public toilets apparently
It's a
get
funnel for the puss.
real nasty.
I'm just saying, like like she, Dragon's old lady, the effort she put into like.
Can we start calling
reviewing-
him by his government name? Like, do
No.
we really have to subscribe to the fucking warlock?
The problem
shit?
is that Dragon has preceded Jaden.
Not to me.
Not to me as well, but in the world of people that listen to this podcast, I get messages. People go, "Hey man, I can't wait to go to the Campout, and I can't wait to have a fucking beer with Dragon."
Oh my god.
That is the thing. And they told me. They didn't even tell him. They told me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that information?
Why are you telling me? Tell him.
Wow. I don't know what to say about all that. That's a lot.
So there'll be a lot of dudes out there just fucking like. He's the best though. I mean, if you think about it,
I love him.
if in the grand scheme of things, everything that we are a group of dudes that all bring something different to the table, and Jaden brings something different to the table than all of us,
Correct.
and makes up a collective that is so much more extra, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, I got a friend for that. Hey man, what are you trying to do? You want to go? We want to party tonight? You want to go hard?
You want to promote an event? Don't worry, I got a homeboy that can make you a flyer for prom.
For everything.
He can tag 97 dudes on there magically above the limit. Got you.
You want a story for tonight? I got a dude for that. You think you can drink hard as fuck? I got a dude for that. You think you can ride far as fuck? I got a dude for that. Like, our group is like the total
It's diverse.
like you think you can talk shit? I got a dude for that.
We're diverse, but we're all the same at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But there's an element of us
You're right,
that's
you're
the
right.
same. We are
And,
still, the best part about it is we are still our own men, and I love that.
Dude,
Me and Jacob would
do you have that video that Shannon did y'all follow Shannon, his old lady?
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
When she's, what, TikTok bullshit when she's
Yeah.
clowning on sax?
So
Yeah,
when
I
Sax,
love
she was like
she does
voiceovering.
She does it pretty frequently.
Dude, it's so good. So that first Halloween party at your house when he wore the diaper,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
do you have it on your phone?
What? Hey, what was
Show
it? Zach?
Cody. Show
What was
Cody.
it?
No,
It's
I've
the-
seen the diaper picture.
No,
No,
what-
but have you seen the video she made? It's the
She-
funniest shit in the world.
Didn't it? It was something about like what you thought you was about to get in a boyfriend, what you actually got, that type of shit.
That was an old one.
That was an old one.
Yeah.
Similar concept though. Yeah.
Similar.
It is so fucking
love it.
funny.
I
I
love
watched
it.
it 12 times in the bathtub.
Dude, but that I love that about their relationship. I love that about their relationship because it's like playful love, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
I
because
remember when.
it is Sax and it is Shannon. Like, if you know the two people individually, it's both of them totally combined, and
It shows that Shannon's so much more
she's
out
wild.
there than
she's awesome.
she's definitely reserved when she comes around a lot of
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
there it is right there.
What you gonna do? You better put that max volume, son.
Dude, play it on the thing.
Play it on the thing.
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him. He like
This
that.
is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
That's mine. And I'm gonna stick beside him.
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Hey, put it on the camera, bro. Put it on the camera. You gotta put that in there.
This is your man. Look at the screen.
That's mine. And I'm gonna stick beside him.
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
It's the best,
Bravo.
It is the best fucking shit.
If that's like the epitome of what it is though for this crew, like it's all fun love, and I dig that so hard about everybody because there's real like baseline underlying real love that we all have for one another, but then add on top, it's just play, it's just bullshit and play, and that's the greatest part about it. It's like it's no different than like clowning on your own blood, like your own siblings or whatever. It's like, fuck you, you're gonna clown on them, but at the end of the day, it's baseline, real, deep love.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing better than that. Because you have the security of, I know my love ain't going nowhere, but I can bust your ass in life or on the internet or wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's so good. It's positive.
You're
shit.
comfortable. You found people that you can fucking like open up to and we are all professionals in our careers. You know, that's what's allowed us to own Harleys, in a sense. But at the end of the day, like we do all this professional shit, and then we get together and we just fucking act a fool.
Yeah.
That's all it is to
That's
it.
how we release our steam or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's my man.
My man.
Dude, yesterday we had the doors open in the shop, and there we have a car stereo shop right down the street, and these black dudes. That sounds racist already, right? They were like outside talking about. What were they talking about, Sax?
I don't even fucking know. They just kept saying, "Oh shit, okay." That boy came over.
Okay.
Shit, you crazy, man. Shit. That boy came over there with the boom in the trunk, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh wow. And y'all wonder why you should fucking come to this camp out, bro. Man. Like for real. 3 straight days of this shit, bro. Oof.
Yeah.
All you gonna need after Fast Life Camp Out is Tylenol because of your smile aches.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all you're
Your
gonna
cheeks
need.
gonna be
DC
hurt.
powder
Your
works
abs
better.
are gonna get a workout.
Oof.
Who ever would have thought that laughing your ass off would work out your abs? That's
Yeah, I should have like a big pack, but apparently it doesn't work that well, does it?
Center, it doesn't burn fat; it just builds muscle.
It goes right to your heart. That's what it is.
People want to know if we're gonna have Sandoval carry cold snacks at the camp out.
Well,
Man.
so I thought about reaching out to him and about that, but at the same time, I know that a lot of us are going to bring him out there from the Buc-ee's and things like that. But here's the deal: like Sandoval is going to have a lot of beer on tap for us. He's going to have we can buy beer. I think they're working on actual a bar for us.
That's cool.
But at the same time, you can also bring your own shit. So the thing is, what we typically do is we show up and then we ride to Antlers, Oklahoma, which has a liquor store, a beer station, a gas station with beer,
Yeah, a beer station.
a beer station, and we just stock up. But the benefit for us here in Dallas is that our old ladies drive.
Yeah.
So we load up as much shit as we can have, right?
In
So
the
that's
truck,
that's
yeah.
a benefit for us.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, you just gotta fucking figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just last night I went to a liquor store, and they have buckets with those shots of Fireball.
Yeah.
And I bought 4 buckets, and they each have like 25 or 30 shots of Fireball, and I bought all.
What you making
All
that
I
life
wanna do,
mistake for?
I do think that it'd be dope if we did a mass Jello shot deal.
Why is it gotta be
Oh,
Jello?
yeah.
How about tequila?
No, just like a
You
bunch
can
of Jello
mix it with
shots.
tequila.
I ain't making no jealous.
Women love making Jello shots.
Dude, I'll lace y'all out with some mimosas, and that's what
That
I'm.
sounds like a
that's
good
my
job for
contribution.
Tara
to
Lynn.
y'all.
Yeah, that and meatballs.
No, but I mean, to be fair, all right, it's not just a hey, fuck you if you're coming from out of town, deal with your own shit. All right, so the first ones that we did,
If you show up and you want to go get beer, I'll loan you my fucking
That's
truck will be
that's
there. You can
exactly
take
my
it.
point. The
You
first
can
ones that
take
we
it if you
did,
want.
we didn't have our vehicles there, right?
No.
It was just
Big
us,
Sexy
the
did.
whip. Yeah, you're right. But we went down to the little gas stop right down the street, mile down the street,
Yeah.
and we got a foam ass cooler, right?
Yeah.
And we filled that thing up, and that's all we had. Okay, so anybody who is brand new to Adam Sandoval's campground, K River Campground, literally it's a left and a right out of the campground. You go left, the closest town is 8 miles. That is Clayton. And,
No, that's Antlers. It's close.
I'm sorry. Left is Antlers.
But there's a gas station like 2 miles.
Correct. That's what I was going to say. There's a gas station maybe 1 mile away. It's a little shit old gas station.
Unleaded.
Yeah. It's a little, but it's like an all-purpose gas station.
Yeah.
We have bought
It's
beers
a
there.
grocery
We have
store,
gotten
everything.
coolers there.
They got
We
little
bought a
sub
tent
sandwiches.
there.
You can
We
give
bought
them firewood,
there.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other way, so when we go to the ride, when we go towards Talamina,
Clayton.
that is to the right out of the deal, and the closest town that way is 20 miles to the right, which is Clayton. So everything that you essentially need is out there, but to be fair, these last couple years, we've been having our old ladies bring the trucks up and all that type of stuff, and it's worked out well. But it's worked out well for the masses because those of you who don't roll through with a cooler and all that bullshit, if we got space, we're going to lace you
You're
out.
more than welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna
I
have
got
a
news for you
big-ass
also.
cooler.
We're not going to have big enough coolers for 500 motherfuckers. So
Yeah, I mean,
handle your own shit the best that you can, and we'll do what we can to,
Yeah.
to support you.
If I can offer anything up, though, like anybody that
Exactly.
needs to take my truck to town and buy a cooler or buy beer, whatever, more than welcome.
But Adam also sells coolers and ice.
Correct.
And beers.
Correct.
So
And the beer's marked up a little bit, but don't be a fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Beer's market.
He's
Yeah, but
gotta
it's,
make money too.
it's 10
so-
steps away too
Yeah.
versus going anywhere. So
Trust
when
me,
you
after
when you're
you
fucked
smash
up,
the first 12 pack,
it don't matter.
the next 3 don't matter that
Exactly.
much. You know what
The
I'm saying?
price of the fucking Bud Light that you just bought
Yeah,
doesn't fucking matter when it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and you're still getting free cold beer or
Yeah.
paid for cold beer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And anybody, and it's a community deal too. If anybody can go dip in my cooler and grab a beer, and I expect to be able to walk in anybody else's fucking cooler and grab a beer, you know,
That's what
Yeah.
Joe Kidd was talking about.
you
on
know,
the last
it's
podcast.
fucking
It is.
community deal. You know?
It is. It's community love, and that's what it is. Like I'll bring a truck full of food and fucking beers and mimosas and all that stuff. I don't intend on going home with a fucking thing.
Yeah, it better be
except my
gone.
coolers.
It better be
So
gone.
Yeah.
outside of that,
Yeah.
it's just fun for everybody. It's family shit. That's really what it comes back down to. Those 3 things I was talking about. That is a pillar of what we do. It is family and friends, and you treat it as such. We're having a barbecue, homie, for the next 3 days. Come through on your bike, and we gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Hey, find out if your old lady's good. There's so many things that's going to get revealed. I mean, I think that we're going to see this year maybe more people traveling, like definitely people on bikes, but maybe more people doing like bigger travels, like bringing their old ladies.
Yeah.
Bringing.
There's gonna be a lot more old ladies this year. For
I'm
sure.
good.
But
I'm
that's
good with
totally
that.
good. That's
Which
the
is-
exact
which is-
same route that we did. Exact same. The first joint was just us.
Yeah, we checked it out.
It was just
ourselves.
us. And then the second joint, us and the old ladies and
Yeah.
whomever else. But you're absolutely I got no problem with that. It's no different than one homeboy coming down like Cody and then going back and bringing the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
I
So
found
love
water.
that. I love that.
Let's go. What, you gonna say something?
Steve wants to know if there's going to be elotes there.
Shit.
We're going to be in Oklahoma, dude.
I love
You
it.
better take your ass back through Dallas, man.
Ain't no Mexicans in Oklahoma.
There wasn't a food truck last year, right? It was just the first year.
What was it?
That was the first
No,
year.
last year because of COVID, they didn't do that. That was the one thing last year that they did. So 2 years ago, they actually brought out a taco truck. And that was from in town. Sandoval lined it out that it was a midday taco truck, kind of get your lunch, that type of thing. But last year, because of COVID and like we spoke about earlier, it was 3 fucking weeks or 4 weeks after this shit, like the whole planet dropped. We still did our camp out. They didn't do the truck, but I fully expect that there will be that
do,
type
yeah.
of
A lot of people have reached out
accommodation
about like,
there,
what,
too.
what are you gonna do for food? I'm
I've
like,
had some dudes reach out too.
I'm
about,
like,
what do y'all do for
well,
food?
figure it the fuck out.
Well,
Bring-
not
bring
to be
some-
not to be that bad.
Not
but-
to be
so
a dick
thi-
about it, but
this
I'm like,
is what I
there's a
expect.
gas
Figure it the
station.
fuck
There's a
out.
gas station 2 miles, and town's 8 miles.
But this is what I expect for people who haven't been, because we're speaking about it like it's second nature, because it is for us.
Yeah.
But for people who have never been, there will either be food right on the premises, or the closest food for you is a quick rip 2 mile down.
yeah.
That is the closest food for you. If you want to get more food, then you got to go 8 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no $100 steakhouses
Right.
that you get to flex your money, so you got to go out there and be fucking dirtbags like the rest of
Yeah.
us.
Bring
You
a
know?
fucking package of hot dogs and cook them over the fucking fire. You know?
Yeah, like a real man.
Like a man.
It is.
Be a man.
Be a man.
It is grassroots. It is grassroots, and you cannot overlook that. When you think about just going in and camping in nature, bring what you need, because that's what you really want to be provided with. And if you need something else, fortunately, there are a couple options for you.
Yeah.
But
He has snacks at the fucking.
he does have
and-
snacks.
Yeah,
he has snacks. He has beer. He has ice.
And
He's,
he's actually made
good.
food for us over the years,
Yeah,
but I don't
he
know
has.
how he can accommodate for this
This amount. Yeah.
expected.
He's usually like cooked a couple briskets and shit the last few years. But
That's the other thing. We can't speak to what Adam chooses to do for his campsite, but we can speak to the event that we are holding at his campsite. It is a partnership, but he still clearly has ownership of the site, right? So what he chooses to bring in and or give out, like you're talking about the brisket, that's free brisket, right?
Yeah.
For people who paid to camp there.
Yep.
That's on him, dude. We can't speak on that. So just be ready and just be prepared to camp for 3 days, be in the gutter. If you need some food, go and get it, and just come back. That's all it is. That's all everybody does. Simple as that.
There's no cheat code to that. Basically.
Exactly. And there are options. Like there's some good barbecue joints down the street. There's some good like little
That
hole in
burger
one.
spot,
Like
yeah.
the Burger Barn is money, man.
Yeah.
Just so there's some options. It's not like your full fucking
Hateful
gas station
Hussies.
foods.
What was it called in Talahina?
Yes, I think it was
It's a good rib.
something like that.
That's at the start of the talent.
That is at the very, very start.
That's pretty.
On
We
the-
did that,
on the
and
west
we did
side.
that custard shop.
Yeah, on the west,
folks here.
on the west
Thanks,
side.
Jesse.
Not welcome.
Come up.
You don't want none of this,
There's a roller chair. Bring it in.
Damn, I ain't seen this kid in
bro, for sure.
3
I haven't
years.
seen him forever either.
You better go on. He's your friend, man. Why don't you
Don't
say?
get.
Ah!
Come around.
You got that right.
Don't get.
There he
Look
is.
at this boy,
Look at this fucking
Damn, look at the muscles.
man. Don't clown this fool.
Hey,
Podcast, podcast.
Cold snacking.
what's up, dude?
Sure.
Not even in the
you
camera
bring
at
a
all.
beer?
Hey, barely. Oh, there he is.
There he goes.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of it. Like,
Don't be bougie. You don't need a fucking steak every night.
For sure.
Eat a fucking sandwich. Eat a fucking burger.
My wife was
whatever.
like tripping out,
Hot
like thinking
dog.
like, what we're gonna do? What we're gonna cook is like bring a loaf of bread
That's exactly
peanut
what I
butter.
told Ashley.
and fucking lunch meat.
Sandwich meat
Yep.
Yeah.
or a hot dog.
Y'all talking about the Campout?
Yeah.
That is this
Yeah,
podcast.
the entire camp.
Yeah,
Correct.
it ain't shit. I mean, if you got
I wasn't fucking here. Fucking, how am I supposed to know?
if you got somebody following you in a vehicle, have them bring an extra cooler,
Sandwich
Fucking
meat. That's all you fucking need.
sandwich meat, and
Sandwich
some
meat.
bread or
Generally-
hot
Yeah,
dogs.
Generally-
There's that grill that everybody can use too. You can throw like fucking patties and shit on there.
Yeah,
And generally speaking, we're not talking about those who happen to have a follow vehicle because that's usually just us.
yeah.
So everyone who isn't
Out of
us,
state
everyone
people.
who is
Big
coming
Sexy bringing
long
a trailer.
distance,
Justin's old lady is coming this year though.
awesome. Justin Pages,
Uh-huh.
good,
cook
good.
good?
That's what. She is. She no, but that's the great part about it is essentially just faring for yourself and also realizing that you're going to be a part of a community that is very giving. So if somebody's
I
throwing a pack
guarantee
of fucking
nobody
40
will go
dogs on
hungry.
the fire, they're not going to eat 40 dogs.
Yeah.
So guess what? Somebody come on, clean these hoes up because that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and food shouldn't be your primary concern, quite
Fuck
frankly.
no.
Being
That's
there,
what we're
being
gonna bring.
present.
I feel like every time we've gone to, Adam's cooked something. Like,
Yeah, he
That's what we're
has.
just speaking
Yeah.
about.
If he's there,
This
yeah.
year it's gonna be probably bigger than he can supply for.
I mean,
but
fair enough. I hope he does, but at the same time,
that'd be cool.
it shouldn't be expected, right?
yeah,
if
don't-
it happens,
don't
blessing.
expect it, yeah.
But outside of that, just be an adult and handle your shit.
World, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
There are choices for you. There are
whole-
options around.
Keeping it what it is means that you have to accept the fact that a lot of things aren't going to be as convenient as others.
It's
Like
not supposed to be.
like you get people bitching about the prices
that-
of things, but the convenience is price. We talk about the tacos at Bike Night all the time. Like they're fucking good, but they're fucking $2.50 each.
They're right across
As
the street,
opposed
though,
to
bro.
Every other fucking dollar taco street place, right? Next thing you know, I got 4 tacos. I'm spending fucking $12.50. I'm like,
Oh my God, is that gonna break you?
That's 4 packs.
it
of
feels
hot
like
dogs.
it.
But this
Times fucking 56
You
every
bitching
week.
about
this is
$1.50?
this is like a regular day,
the
right?
fuck outta-
Regularly, usually I'll wake up hungover. I'll take my ass down hungover to that gas station down the street, a mile down the street. Just roll down there, slow roll.
Better bring some
half
Krispy
naked.
Kreme, motherfucker.
I go down there and I'll get me a breakfast sandwich, right? Because they have made to order shit there.
Yeah.
I'll go down there, get a hot sandwich first thing out the morning, right? Try to cure my shit. Afternoon/evening, I'll have like one big meal usually, whether it's one that I brought or it's one that's in town. and that's usually all I eat, other than
We
full
would
liquid
typically
diet.
Ride to Mena, Arkansas, where
Exactly.
we would eat lunch at least one of the days.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is kind of like this. It's a blur, right? It's a blur. It's a blur of
It is a
drinking
blur.
and eating and partying and like talking shit and then going to prove the shit. And
Y'all
then,
drink?
Shut up, Cody.
Kinda.
Drunk ass alcoholic
Sometimes.
motherfucker.
I mean, I try, man. I don't know if it's good enough for you, but
See,
And y'all eat? God damn.
man, whatever. He was like cursing us out for eating at the what was it, crawfish boil that we went out to East Texas on. Why you eating? Isn't that what we come out with this motherfucker?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
This drunk
Cody's
ass
a 1 meal a day.
trying to
dude.
watch my waist size.
Yeah.
Jesse, you gonna drink this year?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Jesse gonna have one of these. He gonna be
drank all year,
toast.
dude. I'm fucking doing it all.
Oh,
in
yeah.
1 week.
Yeah, one of these.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna
be
see him
out
on
of there,
Sunday.
dude.
Gone.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm drinking.
I'm just, I don't know. It's very surreal to think that the growth that it's had and the amount of people like that I think it's going to impact the way it's impacted all of us.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. I mean,
I agree.
there's no like a good fluffy word to say to kind of describe it, but at the end of the day, like I honestly feel like everybody that shows up and is going to come be a part of it, they're going to walk away with a lot more than they brought to the table,
And they're
Yep.
and that's good. That's what people need to do with this. They need to come out and experience.
Exactly.
And
they're gonna go back home and tell their friends, and then it's gonna grow and grow.
Yeah, I mean,
and
just
grow.
think about it. It started with 8 of us at the
Yeah.
pre, and
Well,
now
that's the thing,
it's
like-
expected to have like 500. fucking
Exactly. So
people,
if you
man.
8
have
of us with our bellies out,
yeah,
full neck,
half naked men.
Hell yeah.
Hanging
it was mad hot that day. Mad hot. It was just raining, really humid.
there's a reason why we do it in April, and it's still humid as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's
Hit
the
or
thing,
miss on
like
weather too. So.
the connection to the individual is so important because if
We should
you
talk about that.
if you are sitting here listening to this shit and you are the one who chooses to go to this shit, our camp out,
Yeah.
there is a reason. It is speaking to you in some way, right? So I can't tell you what that way is. I know what it is for me, but I don't know what it is for you. So it's up to you to explore what that actually is and really discover how this fits into your life, or does it fit into your life? And the camp out is the optimal place to do that, because there's no safer space in a sense that you'll be able to find people that will fuck with you with no reservations and no animosity or anything like that. And you can come out unscathed, whether you are a fucking part of the cult now or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the freedom of choice, and you have the ability to be who you are with no judgment. And that's, I personally think,
Well, unless you wear cheetah pants.
Yeah,
though,
he's not allowed.
Or you
that's
shit.
that's
kicking
one of the,
him out.
that's one of the most beautiful things about the way that we are all set up now, is because the judgment, in my sense, I've lived those times, and it is dissipating so much that we can just be regular and
So-
not be.
One of the other things I wanted to touch on, because it's going to happen, it's going to be an issue for everybody that's riding. You're going to get rained on.
Bet.
We're doing a camp out in April, and most people are coming across the country. You're going to ride through a storm. You're going to have to sit out a storm. That's part of the journey, right?
Right.
There's a chance that the camp out gets rain.
Yeah. I think
It's happened
It fucking
every
hailed
year.
on us
I'm
last
about to
year.
say it's happened every
Yeah.
year.
I will tell you, all you guys that are not from the Midwest or the South, storms out here, they come and they go. They don't last.
Real quick.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're judging, like, I understand you don't want to leave the house in a rainstorm, but weather is part of the experience, and you have to live with it. You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, it makes the trip, you earn the trip a lot more harder when you have to ride through some shit that you don't really want to have to ride through.
Yeah.
So it makes that beer that you fucking crack open when you finally get to the campsite
Yeah.
more important.
Yep.
But yeah, like I get it. Like if the rain happens, we understand that there's going to be less people that show up. That's inevitable. But we're still going to be there. If it's 100% rain for 3 days in a row, we're fucking partying in the rain.
We're gonna be there with our shirts off.
with our shirts off. Yeah.
Hopefully
Soaking
our
wet.
ladies' shirts off.
Our fingers are going to be like when you're in the bathtub too long and it gets a little wrinkly, pruny. Yeah. Like, so
Watch
understand.
out, I'm a grape.
Get that girl. That girl.
I mean,
Yeah, I
that's a
just want-
story for the campfire, you know? You
Yeah.
fucking went through some shit to get here,
You
man.
Hey, you remember last year when everybody was burning toilet paper?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
We were throwing toilet paper in there because of the whole
'Cause
toilet
the whole-
paper scare going on.
Yeah, because we were like, there's a shortage of fucking toilet paper, so all of us, or all of them, decided to just start fucking tossing toilet
It's
paper.
kind of like when women burn bras.
We're like, hey, we're almost out of this stuff. Let's just get rid of it all.
Women burn bras. What? Where did that happen at?
You didn't know about that?
No.
Women's equal rights.
Oh,
When did
like,
they burn
Maybe
bras?
you heard of it.
Oh, when
For
they were doing
breast
marches.
cancer?
No, there was like a march a long time ago,
I don't know.
and they were like burning bras and shit.
You talking about hippie shit?
I don't know, man.
No, dude, we were talking about how last year we were burning toilet paper.
To start
At the-
the fire.
Yeah, at the fucking campfire. And it was like raining ash and like fiery toilet paper on everybody's tent.
Ran in fire duty.
Just thinking, friends,
So I
always
guess you
got
could say
chapstick.
my bike last year got hailed on and fired on
I
the
remember
same
that.
day.
That's actually one of my favorite photos from last year was you getting caught out in the rain. I think Jay snapped one of you like running into the tent. You're like,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
giggles.
that was
a good photo.
Lindsay got that.
No.
Yeah.
Cause all my Oreos were in the fucking tent, dude. I'm not gonna stand outside with y'all.
that was
Go eat
your
my Oreos.
Jesse's
Right.
not gonna bring Oreos this year. He been in the gym too
No,
much.
I'm fucking dude.
Camp out
I'm
cheat,
allowed to eat whatever
cheat
the fuck I
weekend.
want, dude. You ever heard of powerlifting? That's what I do now. I can eat whatever the fuck.
All right, we are not gonna talk about this.
No, I didn't. We don't. I'm just letting you know.
I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
bring some dumbbells.
Hmm? Yeah, I'll pack them on my bike. Show up doing bicep curls.
Yeah.
Dude, you were talking about hardtailing your fucking diner, right?
Yeah.
Just put fucking dumbbells instead of shocks.
Pop them off when you need
That's as
them.
hard as you can get. They don't
You got a
move.
25 and a 35 on one side. If you're feeling good, you just fucking curl it.
Yeah. When I lean it to the left, it just dumps. I don't get it.
Your bike still run, Jesse?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I ain't seen you ride bikes in a minute.
Well, I
Huh?
built it all up and made it all nice and pretty, and then I put it in a garage and did a lot of stuff in my life. So, been
Hey.
saving it.
Did you ride here?
Huh?
Did you ride here?
No, I had to go actually do other work too before this, so I was dropping some shit off, and then I came out
Right
here.
on.
But I've been riding on the weekends and shit, just not far, not any like serious riding.
My turn.
You riding to the camp out though?
Hi, Germs.
Yeah,
Better.
fuck yeah, I'm riding to the camp out.
Hells
Good.
yeah.
When are you leaving? Thursday?
I think
Friday?
me and
Are you bringing a band?
Derek, maybe I don't know. They,
There's a stage.
Bruh.
Stage.
I want them.
Actually,
dude,
he's bringing. Yeah, I think he's building a new stage, like a bigger stage.
yeah. See, I want the band to come.
And they covered it.
That's what I'm saying. I want the band to come, but we just got a new drummer. We
So
just
what?
so we had to
Perfect time.
Well, he doesn't know all the songs yet.
Who
It doesn't
cares?
matter. Test him
got
out with these drunk
acoustic.
hoes. That
He's got
over,
3
don't
weeks.
matter.
Acoustic.
I mean, fuck. If I told Cody if he comes with my guitarist, that we'll just do some acoustic shit, get on stage, bring our own shit. I'm down. I want to.
I
It's
hope
just
so.
waiting on them.
We've been asking you to do that shit for a minute.
I know. I'm
fucking-
fucking down.
So
I'm down for you to do it.
I don't know if y'all been keeping up with Yellow Wolf, but he did an album with this dude Kasky,
Okay.
and he liked my post that I did recently. He doesn't follow me.
Look at
You know,
you.
I don't tag him or nothing, and he liked it. And I was just like, "What? Like, is he keeping up with the camp out,
It's a
or
robot,
or
bro.
what is he
Yeah,
doing?"
maybe
Like,
he's
Yo.
he knows Jace. Jace, remember when Jace
know
got his
Jace-
fucking
Jace-
sunglasses and wouldn't shut the fuck up about it for like
Can
2
you
days?
forget that shit? This clown.
Dude, fucking
They
Jace,
say-
if Jace would put these sunglasses
What
on,
did-
I'd be
what did he
like,
say? What did he
My
say?
future's so
my
bright.
future's so bright.
I've been blessed. This fucking clown, bro.
Yeah, Yellow will definitely
Could
knows.
you imagine?
that.
All right, I'm not.
Dude, if he showed
As far
up,
as I know, there's like 2 people that are famous and ride Harleys. This Momo and Yellow Wolf, right?
fuck Momo.
Shut-
He's
Hey.
a fucking.
Listen,
He
for
said
one-
he said
This
Yellow
one
Wolf
guy,
liked
bro.
his post about the camp
No,
out.
anyway,
Now he's asking if he's gonna
Kasky
come.
did.
Anyway.
Not Yellow Wolf.
Oh,
Kasky.
Kasky?
if they like just out of nowhere
That would be
showed,
dope.
That'd be fucking dope, dude. And
I've
been.
We wouldn't have no.
You know how many grown ass men are gonna be
old
standing
ladies
in
no
line to
more,
get a
bro.
picture?
No,
Yeah.
95% of the people there would know who the fuck he was. I promise you.
I think that's
Yeah,
a high percentage.
I believe
Because
it.
I don't know. A lot of people.
I think
Most
there's
of
a
the
lot of
people
people
there are
who
gonna know
know
who that
exactly
is.
who he is.
I could honestly
but maybe
tell you,
don't
I don't know what he
claim
looks
they
like.
know it or whatever.
I
You
don't
know how
what
it
he
is.
looks like. Yellow Wolf.
How you can't miss
So
a big
he's
fucking
it's like-
tattoo across his forehead.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's a wolf.
Okay.
Fucking with you, dude.
And it's
No,
yellow.
he's G. I've actually been
Golden,
to
actually.
I've been to a
Like,
Yellow Wolf
it's
show.
semantics.
He's G.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He is.
Yeah, he's a good dude. It's
Is your future bright?
Yeah, we were talking about he brought
So brand new.
no, but I actually messaged him. You know, I was telling you about my son and listening to his music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It would be so rad to have them at the thing, but like he was talking about the rest of the band members, like, I don't think that like a lot of people understand like the way exposing themselves to people works, right? And so promoters will probably hit you and go, "Hey, we're gonna have 5,000 people at this venue, right?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go play for 5,000 people,"
Right.
but those people at the venue are all from the same town. Like, we're gonna have 500 people from all across the country.
Who might all connect with you
With
in
your
a
music.
totally different way.
And 100%, everybody in this whole fucking community really connects with the shit I do. The problem is, like what I was just telling them, is we just got rid of our old drummer, so we have a new drummer now, but he's still learning the songs. And I mean, it's like 3 weeks out from now. Regardless of whether he knows all the songs or not, maybe we can just jam some
It's
shit.
just an
I think
excuse,
it's
brother.
sad, like I never
Wing
wanted to
it.
have bands at our shit. I never did because it kind of takes away. But
But that's not a. That's
It's
not,
different.
That's
It's
not
different
having
because it's
bands.
me, and it's you're not paying us. It's,
Exactly.
It's because
That
we
is
want to
say
play.
it's different
Yeah.
if it's somebody you know.
That is not having bands at the event.
Yeah.
That is, we got Homeboys by the Fire, and they decide to go play music for
Right,
people.
and that's how
It
I was
is
looking
no
at it.
different
It's not
than,
like you're doing a set
Yeah.
for
No
like
different
2
than
hours.
and
you
then
know?
like a hippie like having a
Go
guitar,
play,
bringing it
go
out,
play
and like,
2 or 3 songs.
all right,
take a
brothers.
break. You know,
Yeah, for
fucking-
sure.
yeah, I mean the
See,
way
and
it
that's-
was with the anniversary party last year, whenever we all went to fucking Boxcar and you were playing.
Yeah.
That was the vibe. Everybody fucking dug it. I mean, because it's you, because you're up there, because the music is good.
Right.
And
Everybody's like fucking.
Well, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell the band though. I was just like, dude, it's
not a gig.
It's not a big deal, but there's big like
Opportunity.
opportunity.
Especially
It's
your
good
You know,
Yeah.
we
It's
don't have to go out there and just fucking be the fucking entertainment of the night. We just have to play good and just have a good time.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
you
be
know.
real. Quite frankly, you won't be the entertainment of the night.
I know there's so
It
much
will
other shit
just
going
be
on.
A sidebar.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, dude,
Exactly.
we're just gonna be the music in the background, and everybody can come
sure.
chill
I'm
out and
actually,
fucking.
when you guys play, I guarantee you the entire campsite will come watch.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because, like you said, you have what, maybe an hour? Maybe?
Yeah.
So you
No,
guys-
we have a solid hour of songs we can play. Well, we did, but now that we have a new drummer, it just depends on what he can learn by that time.
I mean, the stage is 30 feet from the fucking
He
fire,
just
so
built a whole nother fucking top.
that's what we were
Yeah.
saying.
He covered it. you
and
know?
we
you'll
can
be
fucking
straight.
we can just jam out too. Like we know how to jam. We don't have to fucking play
Yeah,
shit that
or
we
you
already
can
know.
play.
Yeah,
What do they call them?
covers.
Freebird.
Yeah, covers.
Freebird. Fuck you. Go home.
Yeah, you can play Freebird.
No,
Fuck
play
off.
some
fucking CCR, brother.
No lie though, your new shit slaps. Bro.
Yeah, man.
That's all
So
they did.
actually,
Fuck.
so whenever we finished that song and we put it out everywhere, we got picked up, or we got this dude messaged us,
Yeah,
right?
your producer, your new
Yeah.
producer.
So we haven't started working with him yet. He's been over to the house. What he's gonna do? He's Pantera's producer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he heard our shit and wants to pick us up, and he wants to cut us a demo, so he can send it to like a bunch of different people, places, etc. Like his contacts. But yeah, he heard it and was like, man, I heard all the stuff that you recorded yourself, which is like the raw shit that I did, like the full band. And then the new recording, we didn't even record the drums. Those are fucking processed. And I never liked
shit.
that. I hated that whole aspect. I was like, dude, this song just sounds like pop music, man. It sounds like it's radio ready, but it's not what we like. It doesn't translate to the way the song sounds live. It doesn't sound like us, It sounds clean and crisp and cool, but it's not us. So the fucking dude from Pantera heard that track, and he was like, kind of like, it's not cutting any new bread. So then our manager sent him the stuff I recorded, and he was like, oh, holy shit, like Born to Lose is sick, Go Fuck Yourself is sick, all those, like, he heard all the raw shit. And so he was like, hey, man, let me come out and listen to y'all's band. Like, he just came out to one of our practices. He's like, let me hear you guys and see what you sound like compared to the recordings and shit like that. So he came out, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago and listened to us. We played through our set, or we only played like 4 or 5 songs. And he's like, yeah, man, I want to work with you guys. And he's going to cut us a demo, send that shit out. So
Yeah,
That's
badass,
fucking
man.
dope, man.
but
Hey,
ever since then, it was before he was like, dude, before you guys figure this shit, or before we do this demo, you gotta have your members. Like, you guys have been iffy on your drummers, so I'm not gonna cut this demo and then we fucking send it out to some people and they're like,
Switch
hey, you
again.
guys got different drummer now. It's nah, kind of thing. So we've been on like this fucking goose chase to find a new drummer, one that has time and is, invested like we are, and we finally found one. So once he learns the songs and shit, we'll start cutting the demo. But there's a lot of good shit going on with that, so it's been keeping me busy as fuck.
That's
Goddamn.
fucking
And fucking
badass.
Steve Chamberlain's always fucking supporting your
Oh, dude,
shit
he
on
loves
his
my shit,
videos,
man. Yeah, he's always putting my stuff on his
He's just trying
videos.
to find that free
Always,
music.
yo, for sure.
I told and that's what I told him. I was like, dude, anytime you want to use my shit,
Free
because I
rights.
know what it's like trying to get fucking rights to music and shit, and you got all this fucking basic ass like normal shit on there. So I was like, dude, anytime you want to use my shit, use it, because it benefits both of us.
Right.
But
No, I just think it'd be dope as fuck. Like Saturday night, 9 p.m. We go fucking on the stage. We've been talking about doing some giveaways, but it's not set in stone yet. But if we did, it'd be a perfect thing when you fucking you got everybody's attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Give away a couple things, maybe if the world works right, and then they play the music and it's an hour. Like, it's an hour of the night, and the next thing you know, they jump off the fucking stage and they fucking party.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, like, the way I see it in my head is everybody's enjoying this entire trip, and that is a nightcap. It's this music that is created by one of the dudes that was original at the first fucking pre-Campout.
Yeah.
That it's all encompassing of the whole situation, and then as his career with music goes forward, like, people across the country, like, I heard that fucking band at a Campout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. And
who's to say there's not some other musicians that might not be there that want to get up there and jam with y'all, you know?
Yellow Wolf shows up.
Maybe
I got a drummer.
Jesse's
Maybe
like,
you
well,
get Xavier out
Drop a
there.
Buck Cherry.
Yeah.
so
Maybe you get maybe
is
you
he
get
coming?
Xavier ass
he
there.
might come.
Xavier,
Dude,
yeah.
if he shows up and he wants to jam, fuck it.
You can tell that drummer
you
to
gotta
take a
sing
break,
Crazy
brother.
Bitch.
Crazy bitch from one? From one or 1, 2? Okay.
Y'all crazy bitch.
That'd be crazy.
It would
His
be cool.
stories, man, like, when I hang out with Xavier and he talks about, like, being in that band, and just being a normal dude, because he's not like he wasn't like the lead singer.
The
and he-
front face, yeah.
And it's one of those things I always admired about Tool. Is like, Tool is this group of dudes that could, like, go anywhere, but they have this massive following for their music, right? And he's like,
It's called a
I
cult.
remember, I don't know if he said this on the podcast. Fuck you.
Illuminati.
I don't know if
They're
he said this
weird.
on the podcast, but he said it. He goes, I was at a Ralph's in L.A. getting food, like, that's their grocery store or whatever. And he goes, I'm standing behind a chick, and she starts, her ringtone was Crazy Bitch on her phone.
God.
And he is the dude standing behind her. He goes, hey, man, that's a good song. Like, who sings that? And she goes, this band, Buck Cherry, I'm their biggest fan. And it's like,
She didn't
is-
recognize
biggest.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is wild to me.
She knows her front face. The dude singing. That's it.
It's all a matter of perspective, though, because you know that people key in on certain things, especially when it comes to a multi-part band, right? People will be like, this is the person who speaks to me, or this is the guy that I fuck with, or whatever. It's not always the lead singer. Lead singer gets a big chunk of the pop.
Yeah,
There's no
90%
doubt about it. But there are certain bands, Slash, for example, right? He didn't sing a word in his life.
he just
All he
played
does is
guitar.
have that weirdo hair,
Yep.
his fucking
Top hat.
top
Yeah,
hat, and fucking
yeah.
beep, 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 all day, right?
Do that again.
All day.
Hey, yo, check out the new joint.
Beats by Jay dropping soon, huh? But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn, I need him as a drummer, bro.
that's
You wanna
all
be a
it
drummer?
is. So everybody keys in on something different, and it's no different than Buck Cherry versus Jesse's band versus any other band.
I
It's
feel like the
same
lead
concept.
singers usually just pull like the people who don't really pay attention to what the fuck
Oh,
they're
for sure.
listening to. They're just
Like
like, oh, I know.
groupies,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I try to make sure there's an even distribution throughout the band of whose face is on the fucking Instagram and shit. You know. I'm nothing special, dude. I ain't trying to fucking be all up in that shit.
Yeah.
So you guys are coming to play?
I'm 100%. I'm trying to get these guys to go, and
all you need to do is bring your guitar. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna bring my shit anyways, just
Right.
for the fuck of it. Regardless of whether they go,
Whether it's
But,
a full set or just fucking hanging out.
Dude, he's got a full like he's doing more to the stage. I was just
Yeah, I saw that.
Seen a post he made the other day.
He's re-upping the
because
stage.
I'll bring my electric guitar and
First
amp.
of all, I thought he was re-upping the like pavilion area, right? Nope. Doing the stage.
So he did some crazy shit to the stage, huh?
I think he put a roof on it, like metal roof.
yeah, look at it. So he built the whole roof on the thing now.
Oh, sick.
With lights and shit.
I'm sure it'll have some.
Yeah, I'm
lights.
sure he's probably got some
Damn.
twinkle lights up there or something like he's got. Yeah, that's sick, dude. I'll
How
fucking
do you
just,
beat it?
dude. Even if it's just me, man, I'll
How do
just
you
get
beat
up
it?
there and fucking just jam some blues for a
that'd be
while.
cool.
I don't give a fuck.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That helps people like me out who have like try to DJ the whole time. Fucking
Yeah.
got your phone plugged up to the.
Well, I get up there and play some fucking
Yeah,
blues,
right.
and then you guys just do karaoke or something.
That's a hard no. I don't want to hear
we're
none of these
not doing
motherfuckers trying to do
karaoke.
karaoke.
Saxon goes up there.
Motherfuckers
Give me Britney Spears.
Yeah.
One more time.
We get Trent up there doing this song, and then the whole time someone else is singing it, but he's out there playing the fucking. He's shooting everybody up, throwing
Fucking
grenades.
Rambo.
Jesus.
The drum beat is Trent shooting a gun.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. It's
Fast
gonna be
Life
wild.
Campout 4.
It's gonna be so wild this year.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as fuck, dude. I haven't been able to party all year because I've been trying to not be a fat piece of shit. So this is my time to party. I'm ready. Been holding it in.
Are you saying we're trying to be fat pieces of shit? Is that what you're saying?
No, you guys just effortlessly do it. So
Bet. Taco Tuesday.
I mean, we haven't had no food since we got fucked up last night.
I ate 2 pieces of pizza from the Quick Trip.
For
Oh, you
breakfast.
down the way down?
Yeah.
I was hoping
breakfast.
to go eat after this before we
I
go
mean,
do
I'm
this
down
photo
for that
shoot shit.
too, I guess.
what y'all doing a photo shoot of?
I'm gonna shoot their bikes for this.
Motorbikes.
I don't know if it's gonna make the magazine, but it's definitely something that we'll shoot, and maybe it'll go into the magazine. Maybe it'll be filler for the magazine. Maybe it'll be something. I don't know.
Sick.
I need to wash
Secrets
mine.
out.
All right,
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
thought you were
Later.
keeping it on the wraps.
All
man.
right.
How long we been?
For real?
we're shutting
April
it down
22nd through
I
the
get
25th.
we are shutting it down. Probably
we
because we kept ourselves
Moyers.
on one topic. That's
That's
why.
life. Camp
Usually
out,
we keep on
out.
going
We
like.
didn't talk about our big trip to.
That's what I'm saying. We go for hours because we're fucking all over the place. If we spent 3 hours, okay, call it 2 hours and like 32 minutes on Campout and then a couple bullshits. That's pretty good for us,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we usually have a 6-hour podcast.
for sure. And we were trying to moderate our drinking intentionally because we were doing a photo shoot later.
I had 2 tall boys and 2 tall boy mimosas.
I'm the most sober one here,
Get your dude.
besides Jesse.
All right, we'll see you guys at the camp out. Any no more questions?
Better be there.
More
Boys better
questions.
show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
show up.
Show
or
up, show out, bitch.
You show up or shut the fuck up. I don't give a
You
shit
ain't
about
first,
your
you're
excuses.
last.
Bring your boys, bring your ladies, bring your mama. We don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Fam.
we
Drop
wanna see
in.
Buttholes. And
Do it
titties.
again. Do it again.
My mouth is dry.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. You got that dry pussy, bruh.
The dry ass mouth. Drop it in, baby. Fast Life Campout. See ya.
Peace out.